All right, welcome everybody to the Merc Esports Emerald Finals between Ape Gaming, Zubumafu Rises, that's a mouthful, and the Valhalla Berserkers. My name is Fel, and I am joined tonight with Sekio. Sekio, how we doing tonight, babe?
I'm happy that I'm gonna be with you, Phil, today. It's a pleasure to always cast with you, and I'm so happy that we're gonna be casting on Merck's Academy finals for the Emeralds League. We have watched this series over and over and over and over. Zubumafu versus Valhalla Berserkers. It's I'm a be real. It's never too close between both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Always Zubumafu takes the lead, but I mean, we were in the finals. We were in the final best of three in the whole entire season. So I believe that maybe Valhalla Berserkers got something in their backpack.
Yeah, and we see this a lot. This is the third matchup between these guys. They got 2-1 in the regular season. One of the few to actually take a win from Zubumafu, and then in the semifinals they ended up losing 3-1. So, a lot of studying on these guys, a lot of tape, a lot of practicing and in your scrims and stuff. And when you're doing your VOD reviews, you can see tendencies. And so as we're talking about it, it's David versus Goliath. So we're getting into this as the first round of bans come through. We have Zubumafu Rises on the blue side. They're banning out Syndra, Gwen, and Anivia, and Valhalla Berserkers banning out the Vi, the Wukong, and Tristana. And the B1 pick is Aurora. How are we feeling about that?
I like it. It's still a flex between mid and top. It's a really good mage assassin that you can use him into controlling either the side lane, or he's gonna be a really good flanker that can just burst down any AD carry or like source of damage that you're gonna be having. I believe that on the other side, you gotta start opening jungle and try to look for a counter. Exactly, Hui is gonna be really good in mid
Mm-hmm.
lane. You're trying to counter Aurora into top side because like basically Hui got like this range she's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
playing with, so that's gonna be really good versus her in the early game.
Yeah, and forcing her into a role, now you're putting the onus on that specific summoner to play her into a lane she should win, right? Like top lane Aurora should be able to bully out. So you're going to get your counter pick into like some sort of lane neutralizer or
Mhm.
something like that. So now you get to basically give yourself a prio pick in the Hui, who's absolutely strong, and also kind of force Aurora unless the ego kicks in and you're like, I could play Aurora in the way, then then you get up for a banger matchup in the mid lane. So I really like this pick as well. We do know that Hui can be flexed to the support role as well if they really want to do it. It's not as popular, especially paired with like a Sivir or something. But as we do see the Sivir come through and the Jarvan on the jungle here.
So Jarvan on the jungle also, it's gonna be something we're just aiming for Sever, we're aiming for Hue, you're a mobile champion, so you're not gonna be able to just reposition yourself in the team
Mhm.
fight, so you're gonna be it's gonna be pretty scary for them for just like yeah, you're gonna get the cataclysm, you're gonna be stuck in the cage, and yeah, stuck in the cage, and you have a rocket from Jinx just gonna burst you down to hell. So I really like Zubumafu composition till now. Maybe, just maybe, Valhalla Berserkers need some. I won't say like disengage. Disengage is pretty important, but at least some global ultimates, or at least something that's really good on side lanes.
Yeah, and the answer here with the Xinsha, which I actually really like, as they lock it in, that's something that if the Cataclysm comes through, you can jump in on top of Jarvan inside his Cataclysm and then just block the Aurora poke coming through, the Jinx rocket coming through. So I really, really like this pickup. He's a good fighter into Jarvan. The matchup can kind of go either way, but Jarvan normally wants to have somebody over there with him, giving him some agency or giving that to the laner that they're working with. So really good counter pick here on the Xinsha. I'm not too sold on the Sivir, but if you're going for tempo, Sivir's an awesome pick, and it's something that's going to give you a lot of freedom to push lanes and be sort of safe in the bot lane as the bans rounding out. We have the Shen being blocked from Valhalla Berserkers, so they're looking at either taking that away from the Jinx as a support, or if the Aurora is going mid, they don't want to see that coming in on top with the Jarvan.
And also, they don't want to see protect the president composition. You're gonna be just playing around Jinx resets, Jarvan engaged, and you're gonna have Shin. It's either gonna help Jarvan to sustain or Jinx to get more shield and be able to just burst down through the backline. So it makes more sense, and I believe it's a target ban for their top laners. We can see Sign already being also picked off.
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of signs in the playoffs from
Yes.
Valhalla Berserkers and actually from all the teams. Like Sion is one of the S tier champions at this meta.
Yeah, especially because he affords so much. He can gank from top lane into mid lane. He can push towers faster than pretty much anybody except for like a 600 stack Nasus, you know. So yeah, a lot of damage, a lot of tankiness, and a lot of you know map presence that he can have everywhere in there. So the Thresh being banned out as well. So it looks like Valhalla is sold on Aurora being mid here, as they're going to pick the Ornn as a just in case on the top lane.
Also, Ornn gives you the extra items, the upgrades,
Hmm.
which is gonna help all the team into getting better and better when it comes to scaling. You're having Sever, you're having Wei, you're just gonna be playing for the late game. And you know when you're talking about Emeralds League, you're gonna see a lot of random fights, a lot of
Hmm.
unpredicted moves, which means like the games are not going to be easy to get finished in 20, 30 minutes. So when it comes to that game, those champions, they're going to deliver.
Yeah, and usually in these leagues, you normally do see, like you were saying, it's going to be a 35 to a 40 minute. You want some scaling, you want the ability to get into these
Ooh.
late fights and be able to come out on top. And Ornn obviously does a lot to help that. I mean, the stats that he gives the items are actually even better than the Otacon buff passes that you passive buffs that you get. So as far as gold efficiency, so yeah, it's really good to see that he's going to be no matter what, even if he gets beaten this top lane by this Ambessa, he's still going to be able to, afford his team a lot. As we see the Melio coming out to help protect this Jinx, these guys are trying to create space in between the Jinx and the rest of the team, and I really do like Zubumafu's draft so far.
And also the sucker ball from Milio is going to just like disengage or like give a lot of distance for Jinx to be able to space anyone. And I don't see any actual engager from Valhalla Berserkers. You only have Ornn Horn, you have uh, maybe not Zen's ultimate, Zen's E, just like as a gap closer. So there is no actual engager. You're just gonna play into fighting front to back, and you're not gonna be hardly engaging on anyone on Zubumafu, whenever they get close, whenever like Jarvan tries to get a Cataclysm, whenever
Mhm.
Aurora tries to get to the back lane, you have Janna's ultimate, which I believe that Bobby would have made more sense to me.
Yes. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a Poppy here. I was thinking it as soon as I saw the Jarvan, and then once the Ambessa came through, I was like, oh, definitely Poppy support here. But looks like they're going to want to do, the Janus Sivir in the bot lane, which I
Mhm.
really do like. Janus Shield gives the AD buff as well, and I saw them hovering Nami before that. I actually like the Janna better here, just because it'll last for the duration of the shield. So that 10, 15, 20 AD that she's going to get on top of when she has 3 items, 4 items, she's going to be able to get through. And Jarvan and Ambessa, if they're up in the front line and they don't kill the Sivir, she's just going to be free firing into that and getting off, 20, 30 hits, within 4 or 5 seconds. So I really do like the answers that Valhalla Berserkers have. I think this is a good way to do the draft, is basically try to counter everything that they throw at you. And I think they did a good job here. And as far as the engage, I think that they're going to want to kind of do the same thing. They're going to want to poke from the backside. They're going to throw Sivir boomerangs. Hui's going to be an artillery mage from the backline, poke him down, and then, like you said, blast the Ornn Horn, because here we come, followed up with a Xin Shao and, Janna to sort of keep everybody safe and keep them off of the Sivir in the backline.
I really want to give something to Valhalla Berserkers. If they manage to win with this composition, it's not easy to execute. It's
Right.
really good when it comes to late game, but if you can win with this composition, I can assure that this team can go far away after like playing in Emeralds League, maybe even more getting into diamonds, something
Mhm.
like that, because this composition is not easy to execute. And a lot of good teams in Masters can't play that well. So it's really fishy, and also when you're playing Ornn and Sever, you should be looking for the lane swaps. It's
Mhm.
one of the core things. Ornn can just sustain any 2v1. Also, Jinx is not something like not a bully in laner. Like that's not Draven. That's not
Mhm.
something that got a lot of damage early on the game. So you should be considering that. Also, it's just it's Ornn. Like he's gonna survive. He's really good into being blind big, and he's really good into playing 1v2s and 1v3s.
Yeah, and depending on the difference in skill level, which I doubt that there's very much, considering that both of these teams were basically undefeated except for against each other. The Ambessa does have a little bit of kill pressure on Ornn if she can get the level 2 or the level 3 power spike right away, taking Ignite into that lane, which I don't think that we'll see. I would much prefer having a flash on my Ambessa, but never know, right? And if she can get ahead and snowball that lane, at that point, then Ornn is in a lot of trouble, because when they go to lane swap, she's just going to swap with them, and they'll be happy to do that. So, and then whichever side she's on, she's going to have the prio. So there's going to be a lot put on Yoshi's shoulders here to make sure that he can withstand the storm and get it into the mid to the late game, where he's going to be able to provide his team with a much needed support.
So that's for Valhalla Berserkers. Let's get into the other. Okay, never mind. We're just gonna enter the draft phase another time, man. I can't really remember the picks. Or may actually, I think that Jinx is gonna be a really good pick in this game. What?
Yeah, so I was joke with most of the people that I play with and I cast with. They're like, hey, just like Yasuo has a 10 death power spike, it's basically once Jinx hits 3 kills, especially if it's not accompanied by 4 or 5 deaths. Once she hits the 3 kills, like that's when game is over. That's when she's hitting her point, and like that's when you have to be worried. So I think that a lot of attention from Burrow should probably be going down to Maniac, Trojan Boyd, and DL on this bot side. Try to get a kill or two early on for the Jinx, get her in a comfortable lead over the Sivir, and then at that point they'll be able to, just use your rockets and your spacing to be able to take down the Sivir, keep her off of scaling potential, and keep her CS down. That's kind of what I would like to see here. As far as playing this comp, like you were saying, it's super easy. You're going to have Jarvan and Ambessa in the front line, Aurora with the follow-up, and Jinx in the back line, while Melio just basically gives everybody a soccer ball, heal and shield, and just lets them do their thing while Jinx cleans up.
I have a thing like for Valhalla Berserkers. Like, let's say if they manage to play the lane swaps, I believe that like what you're saying, that you're gonna see Joven bathing from top to bot, so he's gonna be able to take the 3v3 early game. Because basically, those 3 champions can just like win easily in the early game if Joven just like hit the flag and drag Jinx auto attacks. I'm not sure. Like I have seen a lot of players play Jinx in this Elo, not like the perfect or like not the best early game Jinx that you would ever see. Like not knowing when to use rockets and when to use auto attacks, normal auto attacks. So with that being said, like I'm not sure when it comes to this Jinx. When it comes to the player itself, I know like you got to the finals. You're the best once top 1/2 teams in the league, but it's still it needs a lot of how can I say it, like you need to have like the sense of the champion, like you gotta feel him, you gotta have
Yeah.
that feeling.
Yeah, you need like the synergy between your hands and what's going on in there, and you need to know basically when you need to space too, right? Because in lane, a lot of Jinx players have the tendency to just use their rockets, and then next thing you know, they're out of mana, and now their clear is they're sitting at like 525 range, and they're getting outranged or poked or whatever. They're gonna have to sit inside, take free ricochets from the Sivir. So, but I'm also with you. This is the finals. I think that they've played enough games together. They've probably played this champion a few times during the season. They should have a pretty good understanding. She's not the most difficult to pull off, especially as far as scaling ADCs. I think both of these, I think if anything, the onus is more on the Sivir. Nums 1-2 is going to have to be able to space themselves a lot easier in the team fights, or a lot better in the team fights, because with the short attack range, you can't just throw a boomerang and think you're doing your job. You're going to have to get in there, get some ricochets going through in between a team fight. So I think that Sivir's going to be a lot harder to play, especially since there's so much frontline for Zubumafu that's going to be giving her that space, and then on top of that, Aurora with the Worlds Collide is going to be able to give him even more spacing in between, because it's hard to run through that ult without dying. So I really do like their comp, and I don't think that Maniac is going to have any problems piloting this champion. I think that as far as bot lanes go, I think that they have the better one. The only difference is when you get to 35, 40 minutes and you have a 4-item Sivir with an Ornn upgrade, if Nums12 can, sit in there and get some shots off, then that could be the end of the team fight for Zubumafu.
Actually, we spoke a lot about the composition, about the pathing from the junglers, about what do we expect, but the question for me is still, what do our audience or the people that are watching the games, what do you expect? Are you going with Zubumafu composition, or you're going with Valhalla's composition? We have spoke a lot about this, but we didn't give the mid lane more attention that they should get. The matchup, we spoke a lot of what should be happening in the late game, but in the early game, I believe that to level 6, Aurora is gonna have a pretty tight matchup. You just need to stay away from the W's, the ones that can wait. I know the those stuff that they use, the way skills, the QWE. Which one is the stun? When you use the purple stun, purple E, it's purple E, right?
Yeah, so you have your EQ is the one that pushes out and goes and fears them, and then the EE is the one that brings them in. And
Yeah,
the
the
EW
E.
is the field. Yeah, the EW is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
field.
exactly.
Drops
You
down.
gotta just stay away from the E, or yeah, exactly, the purple E. Okay, still, I don't play that champion, but
Yeah,
I
no,
know
it's
everything
too much.
that this champion does. It's playing away is pretty mind blowing. You're playing with 9 skills plus ultimate. You have no mobility, and you need to just be careful of each step that you take. From my end, I would like to just play Anivia, play Morgana. Morgana is pretty easy to play, and actually we're in a best of 5. It's fearless, so we're not gonna be seeing any of those champions any more time. So I believe we might see Morgana. We might see a lot of changes when it comes to the upper, or the upcoming matches. I'm not sure the adaptations, but at least we should go for some meta champions for the
Yeah.
upcoming games.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think, and I love Fearless because we may end up seeing 3, 4 different completely comp styles from both of these teams. But with that, we're going to send it to a short break as we're waiting for the spectator delay to finish up. And we will be right back with the action. Don't go anywhere.
Action.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Merc Esports Emerald Finals between Ape Gaming Zoo, Boomafu Rises, and Valhalla Berserkers. We're in for game one here as things get set to go, as we see the sweet production brought to you by Last Revent. As we get on to the Rift, Sekio, what are we looking to see in the first couple of minutes? We want to see an invade or what?
Oh boy, actually, when it comes to invades, it's gonna be a little bit hard. You don't have a lot of stuns. You're not playing with Braum. You're not playing with like a hooked champion. Let's Thresh or any of those champions. So you're gonna be just trying to have the 5 points exactly. You're just gonna cover entrance. No one is getting close, but at least you should be having a deep vision to be able to track the jungler.
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're setting up for. What I have seen a lot lately is maybe 2-3 people at the 1:15 minute mark trying to get in there and either getting caught or doing something. But Burrow and him, yeah, Burrow and first game just gonna head up there and do that. And Snipper's gonna take a little bit of poke from the Aurora, but both teams do, or actually Zubumafu gets double a deep vision, so they're gonna know exactly where Xin Zhao is at. Meanwhile.
Snipper?
Yeah, meanwhile, Valhalla doesn't get really anything vision-wise on the map.
Snipper just recalled. You just didn't lose your lane, Bry, over a small skirmish in mid lane. No. No. That's so bad.
And he's gonna be coming to lane. I don't know if he's gonna be missing any CS or XP from this. He is at least gonna miss one CS. No XP loss there, so now he's down 2 already. So yeah, it could be a huge misstep, and we'll see if Zero Bill can take advantage of that. As
he lost the tempo. He lost the lane pressure. Like we kept talking about, like, yeah, you're gonna be having the lane pressure. You're gonna have the lane price, so you're gonna be giving Yoshi the advantage when it comes to any scuttler, the first move. And like, yeah, I'm just gonna give it up.
Yeah, well, maybe a potential misstep here is now we see Ornn up on the top lane as Ambessa gets the level 2 tower spike. Does end up making him pay a little bit and low health, but getting under the tower should be able to get this back as he hits level 2, get a little regen from the Doran shield, but completely out of potions already on this Ornn as basically tracking the junglers. Everybody knows kind of where they're at. I don't think we're going to see much, but one thing we might see is a fight over this first scuttle in the bot lane as Xin Zhao and Jarvan are heading down towards the bot lane.
You know what Ornn just did is a true Emerald mistake, which is like trying to invest your potions early on the game when you're playing with Doran's shield. And like when you're playing with Doran's shield, when your HP is low, you get extra HP regen, so you don't have to use your potion. That's the thing. Like, otherwise, like, he's pretty low on HP and he's about to die. But normally, when you're low on HP, you're just gonna try to farm with Qs, get some XPs, and you're just gonna be fine. You don't need to record. You just need to play it a little bit safe.
Yeah, and as we see that she is pushing over into the turret range here. We will see if maybe we'll get a potential dive here, as first game does have absolute prio over whom on this Ornn, but it's panning away. This is the scuttle that we were talking about. They are aware of this here. Xin Zhao's trying to go in, does get in there. The smite comes down from Burrow, and he does get the scuttle. As now Yoshi trying to follow up here. The Jinx is on the back end, but a flag and drag in, and Janna has to flash out. And Yoshi still trying to keep this going as Nums 1-2 comes in, double flash coming out. Gonna keep the jungler safe as they're trying for this re-engage here. Is Yoshi on top, and that's going to be a dead Jinx. Nums 1-2 gets the first kill, and they're not done. Oh, they are done because DL with the soccer ball knocks him back by Kalec and makes him pay. Is now that is a 1-for-1 on 2 aggressive of a play after the first kill. Is Whom and Ambessa trying to fight up here a little bit. Not going to go for the all-in engage here. Just going to get a grass proc and try to control this wave as the slow push is being built up by Whom.
A totally worth 1-for-1 situation for Valhalla Berserkers, even though you lost the Scuttle Crab. He lost the first blood, but Sivir is just having a really good day. Her wave is frozen. She got the first blood, and she's just like, yeah, whatever you wanted me to do, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna be pretty happy and I'm gonna do it. Right now, she got the Warhammer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's not the Warhammer, but right now, you can see PvP on top side.
Yep, and as that starts, Ambessa's gonna have to flash out on a fight that she kind of wanted. As the Flagger Drive's gonna force the flash, but the knockup from Yoshi is gonna stop that. As they're going back in here, and Yoshi is gonna get the kill onto the Ambessa's Whom is trying to walk out, and the flag is not gonna come down. The kill will not go over. That's a 2-0 on the top side. Speed of Warfare for Valhalla Berserkers. They are starting this game out exactly how they wanted it to go.
Spacing like a beast. That's what Whom just did. He really got his space out of Jarvan's flag and drag, even though the Yushi stopped him with his Q3, but he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna play it safe, I'm just gonna flash out, I'm gonna try to survive, I'm not gonna play on my teammates like trying to do a really good outplay that's just like 10% a chance that he's gonna do it. So I'm just like gonna have my space, I'm gonna play it slow, and we're gonna juggle it. And we got 2 kills for Zen, and guess what, Zen is getting closer to the sun of the sky. Minute 6, 2 kills and 1 assist, and right now he's just gonna go fight for this Drake, Infernal Drake.
Yeah, and as we see on the CS numbers, he is a little bit behind on the clear as Human and Ambessa are trying to come up here a little bit. First game life, not happy with how that went. Is going to try to reassert their dominance. But yeah, as we see, the Jarvan is having a faster clear speed for the most part and has gotten both of the scuttles, but 2 kills for that and an assist. You know, get your lanes ahead. I'll take that every single day over 8 CS count on the scuttles.
Yeah, also when you get kills, you get extra XP, so you're not that behind when it comes to XP. And also, you have an ADC with a kill, you have 2 kills, so this dragon should be free and you're gonna be able to get this 5% adaptive force and the first Drake on this bomb mid lane.
Aurora as well. Aurora does pop the Worlds Collide to get out of there, does end up moving over, trying to get away. Sniver forcing Aurora into a bad situation there, and yeah, they're gonna get the dragon off of this as we see Yoshi, Nums12, and Zarani sitting over here on this. Really good play from Zero Build to get out of there, was almost dead to rights, but they just couldn't get the final closeout on that, but they will be rewarded with the dragon.
Free dragon. And also they have their wave pushed in the bot lane, so yeah, it's safe and sound. We're just gonna go spend our gold, get some items, and they are rich, so they can do whatever they want. Also, like, the gold difference is not that huge, it's just like 0.5 a gold, but when you see the gold difference when it comes to the carries, that's what's most important.
Yeah, exactly. And as we talk about that, the first game pushing in the wave here, they're going to try to get the vision and everything set up around the grubs. We do see that the Janna has roamed up top, and the lane swap you were talking about earlier, instead of the swap from top to bot, they swapped their bot lane over to mid here. Valhalla Berserkers trying to get absolute dominant priority over on these grubs as they're shoving in that wave, and Aurora can't really do anything about it. It's now going to be a 4v no one as Jarvan resets and is not going to be here for the grubs. And now with no ult, Aurora can't even step up and contest, and I think Emilio is going to be too late to the party.
They're just gonna give in the early objective and try to play it slow when it comes to Zubumafu. We know that their macro is kinda good, that they can counter it when it comes to mid-late game. And also, speaking of carries, Genix got almost 200k gold advantage. He got 20 CS advantage, so that's a pretty huge plus. Also, when it comes to the EXP, she's pretty close to level 7, so Zubumafu, even though they are starting slow on kills, they are just coming back into the game. And Snipper, you're having a really rough day.
Yeah, getting caught out here by Maniac Trojan Boy. The Super Mega Death Rock is going to come in, but it won't be enough. Even with the Melio passive burn, not going to get it. So gets out by the skin of his teeth. And now with no ultimate cooldowns, Nums 1-2 coming back in here. And yeah, the 20 CS lead, there is a kill over on the Sivir. So that sort of negates it. But if you take a look at the CS differential between the Hui and the Aurora, it's now down to 13. It was up to about 20 when we were talking about that. So I was like, oh, the carries. I'm thinking Hui, you're thinking Jinx. So both of these carry lanes are, trying their best to get their leads wherever they can. And Snipper's going to completely whiff his abilities here, and Aurora's going to get a lot of free damage off. She does have her ultimate back up. We might be seeing her coming in here for the kill soon.
The 1v1 is not gonna be that easy. Snipper still got his flash, so he's gonna be a pretty good zoning or trying to dash out from the between worlds from the mid laner. Zero Boy, the bot lane is just gonna be a hell of a fiesta using your rockets. As you have mentioned earlier, no mana Jinx.
Yeah, no mana Jinx, but I think she's just trying to push in and try to get maybe a turret plating here. Nums 1-2 is super low here. We do still have the heal and the ultimate from the Janna, so should be safe as we see Jarvan is deciding not to come down here for a potential gank, maybe dive, because the first couple of fights didn't really go their way, and now it just kind of seems like Zubumafu is just happy to just sort of press their lanes and try to get their advantage through tempo now.
It doesn't make any sense that you're gonna try to stay on a cannon wave and you push the wave and then you just take your recall. You should have taken before you take the cannon wave. You're not gonna lose anything.
Oh,
and also comes to but that's better, but
yeah, we get the public execution coming in. The ultimate's gonna come out from Snipper, and Yoshi's gonna come in. Ooh, one more super mega death rocket, getting Snipper down really low, but cannot finish it off. As first game life just goes in and almost has follow from Aurora forward, but all she's gonna get for that is a turret shot to the face. Now there's no flash up, but she does still have a good dash to get in there. We'll see if she tries to follow up around here. As Jarvan is going to try to come through, maybe flag and drag, but Yoshi catches him out and engages on him himself. As he knocks him up, he will not get the flag and drag out of there. Does he have the follow up here? Is he still going? It looks like Burrow might be down here as Yoshi following through, gets the flash out of the Jarvan, does not want to continue in on it. As he already burnt his flash earlier. As now on the bot side, as the Janna is going to have to do everything she can to knock the Jinx and Emilio back and save the Sivir. Nums 1-2, even with the early kill, seems like they cannot do anything to this Emilio Jinx duo.
Laning phase is so hard for them in bot lane, but also in the mid lane. Zero Bell just got a kill in the 1v2 for Zubu, which is gonna help them into scaling and make it even make it equal between both of them. Jarvan is nowhere near the bot lane fight, which is gonna be starting soon. I believe the Drake is gonna be your target, but now Zubumafu can start and take the lead.
Yeah, Yoshi dashes in on top of Maniac Trojan Boy, and the Jinx has to flash away and get out of there. The ultimate is going to come out from Yoshi. Jarvan on the backside is looking to get a Cataclysm on top of the Janna, and the thing about the Super Mega Death Rocket takes out two, and now Yoshi sitting there by himself is going to get cleaned up. A double kill, no, a triple kill for the Jinx as she takes matters into her own hands, secures the dragon, forces Zubumafu rises. Wei was not even available in that fight as he had just died to the Aurora, and it looks like a bad decision for them to try to come out and fight this 3v3 as Jinx completely hits her 3 kills now and is going to get a plate for herself too, potentially, while Burrow is going to be taking the dragon for Zubumafu.
It feels like that they're feeding Jinx, like giving her food, making her a pretty rough champion, a pretty rough player to play against. Jinx is currently one step away from having the first item in the base. Yuntel plate is gonna be pretty useful on Jinx, the extra attack speed, which is like, yeah, Jinx is gonna be using a lot of auto attacks, so the resets for the item itself is gonna be pretty low when it comes to cooldown. 1v1 Snipper.
Yeah, landing the kind of wants to collide here. He does get killed off, but there is a Burrow here ready to turn it back over, and Zerobi gets a second kill now. This Aurora is caught up in CS almost and is now ahead of the Hui, and this is not looking good for Valhalla Berserkers, as the only one that hasn't died on their team now is this Ornn, but first game life, trying to get a lot of skirmish up here and trying to whittle them down just enough to where they can all in here.
Actually, speaking of Owen, I really like his, like, no, I won't say play style, but I really like that he didn't die till now. He's dead even when it comes to the XP, when it comes to the gold, when it comes to the CS, like it doesn't matter since you're playing as a weak side, something that you're blinding with, so Owen is doing a really fantastic job, and he's a really good weak sider on the other side. Sever, I don't see the early advantage that you got. I don't see the early goal that he spent. Jinx is just like running over the place.
Yeah, and we're seeing here Snipper having a really, really hard time. They're the one that picked this matchup too, and Zerobi, as we were talking about in draft, is just making him pay for this. Is now Maniac Trojan Boy trying to go in. He's going to put the chompers down, but Yoshi is here to try to turn this around as he's trying to get in here. He does hit his mark. He is on top. The ult is going to come out, and now Jinx trying to turn it around as Janet pops her ult. Getting healed, but can't get it as Maniac Trojan Boy gets a kill, but now they're trying to follow up onto DL on this Melio. He's going to get the ball up, and Yoshi's he's going to be just outside of the Xin Shao's range to be able to close the distance. So a 1-for-1 on the bot side, another kill for the Jinx, and Sever finally on the board with a kill of her own. And now it looks like Snipper is trying to come down here. It looks like they want to take a dive on this Melio, but Aurora hoping the worlds collide down onto Snipper, jumps on top of him and says absolutely not. Snipper missing a ton of his skill shots here, and Aurora is going to get the kill again. That's another solo bolo for her. That's 2 now. She's 3-0-1. Almost caught up in CS, and now she's a 1.1k gold ahead of this way. This is a really, really bad spot if you are Snipper on this way.
And it feels a little bit weird for me that Snipper actually had his flash the whole entire fight, and he's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna use it for the fight, I'm not gonna do anything for it, I'm just gonna try to fear him out. So that feels a bit weird, but Aurora, watch out.
Yeah, Aurora caught out his flash coming out from Yoshi, but the soccer ball is gonna stop him as DL saves his Aurora from almost certain death. Number 1-2, it does get the jump on the Aurora, but you see the damage there with the looting. So much damage coming out. It's 2 abilities off. It takes half the health of not just the Sivir, but the Janna. And now Whom and First Game battling it out in a little bit of a wet noodle fight, it seems like, as Ambessa with the Eclipse just doesn't have enough to take down all of this armor on this Orange. So the top lane's basically left on an island now. We did see the Rift used, and that is going to be the feats going over to... Oh, nobody yet. There's still what the next Dragon is going to end up giving the boots over to whoever claims it. So both of these teams are going to be prioritizing this.
Next Drake is gonna be crucial. 3 kills for Valhalla, 2 objectives for each team, and it's all coming down to the next Drake, or like the next major objective, which is like, yeah, it's gonna be the Drake. And also playing onto an Ocean Drake is really good. It's gonna give you a lot of mana regeneration, HP regeneration, and like we're not into the lane phase state, but like when you get the soul, stack 2 or 3 dragons from the same type, it's gonna help you a lot to comprise your advantage.
Yeah, definitely. As we see the death brushes coming up here for Valhalla, they have it set up. They have all 3 members they want in there, the Hui on the bot side and the other 3 members. But we do see Ambessa coming down. She is going to have they both have teleport, but they're both deciding to walk down here, as Zubumafu is not at all interested in walking into that brush. Instead, they're going to turn their attentions onto the Orange. Public Execution comes out, the Zap was hit for the slow, and now Boom, super low under the turret, is going to die too. The Jinx is now Xin Shao in on the inside. Sivir trying to walk around, get out of there, but the World's Collide is going to take a bunch of damage out as Roy's looking in to finish this up. Sivir down, Yoshi down, Snipper on the backside trying to get a flank off, but it's just going to get hit up here. Does get the fear onto the Aurora, but now Jarvan coming in, flag and drag forward, slowing down with the shield, trying to catch up, but they're going to turn their attentions over to this Dragon, which was the initial target for them. Valhalla going down 4 for nothing, and they're going to lose the defeat as well.
The script is not letting anyone to survive. Valhalla, even though you started the game really hard, but look at this Jinx. Extra range, extra damage. She's gonna be having his game of his life. 7-2-2. PVC fight, he owned it. The PVC fight, he gave him a reset. And you know what's coming next? He's just gonna conquer you all. Feats of strength secured to Zubumafu. 7-2 the score for the AD carry. 3k gold advantage. That's something you should be worried about.
Yeah, and now with the Runons completed too, she's just going to be shredding from the backside of these fights, as we just saw there. Is like Sivir caught up in the middle, and most of the time during that fight was just trying to run to avoid damage, while Jinx just gets to sit in the back. So it's basically playing out as we had discussed during the draft, is that Jinx is going to have a much easier time. And Numbs 1-2 on the Sivir looked good early, but now that the Jinx has an item advantage and was winning without that, it's going to be really, really hard for Valhalla to finish this out now and come back in this if Sivir can't get things together. The scrap coming in here, Boom gonna slam his head into the wall, not get anything out of it. And first game life starting to do a little bit of damage to this Ornn, but he is just stacking armor. He is going to be target number 1 for Aurora when these team fights start.
Time is ticking. It's all about time till we see who's gonna be able to get the first W in the final best of 5. It's not easy. 5k gold advantage for Zubumafu.
Yeah, yeah, sending all the resources up top here. It doesn't look like they're going to catch anybody out, but now Yoshi does see Aurora down on the backside. The pings are coming through. Looks like they're going to try to take this Otacon, but there is an Aurora guarding it. We're going to see how far ahead Zerobi is on this and see if they're going to trade a tier 1 and 2 for the Otacon, or if she's going to get a solo hero.
That's so bad. That doesn't make any sense. You're giving up the Otacon even though that you have a lot of advantage when it comes to everything but Aurora. It's your time to shine. It's your time to go for the heroic play.
She comes in, she gets the Worlds Collide down, but Yoshi is going to take the Otacon, but 2 kills, 1 going to Jinx from across the map on the top side. Yoshi is going to get the follow-up kill onto Aurora, but now they are losing their inhibitor turret. Here's Maniac Trojan Boy getting excited, pushing down. The inhib is going down really quickly. It is going to be a 4v3 eventually when the recalls come through.
In the game.
Challenge sitting here, and the Horn is going to come through, try to stop it with the flag and drive, but it's not going to happen. Now they're jumping on top of the Horn. Cataclysm comes out, the unstoppable, but it's not going to be enough. Now it's time for Xinshaw to come through. Is the teleport from Snipper coming through because he couldn't get his back? And Yoshi with the ultimate is finally going to push them off, and a little bit of artillery strike coming through from the Hui, but Zubumafu does finally get out. I believe that is the ultimate burnt for the Sivir as well, and they're just not going to be catching up as they are just completely taking everything on their way out. Burrow with the disrespect, driving, still wanting to go in, but his team isn't here, and he's going to get locked up and knocked out. Flag and drive getting into the backside. Public execution is going to be taking down Yoshi on him, and Sivir caught in the backside here. Maniac Trojan Boy gets another kill, gets excited, and Zeroni actually gets the kill back onto the Jinx, but it's not enough as Burrow and Ambessa just kind of clean up in the backside.
It doesn't make any sense what just happened. He just skipped the Otacon and like he's so Snipper is just going 1v5 and taking out of the HPs now is coming back again to the base. Ornn is no way home, and
the ultimate is going to hit down from Snipper, and he does have Janet here to try to give him a little bit of safety. Here's Ambessa, a little bit too far forward, but just doing the good guy thing, trying to get his Aurora to safety as he does. The game not over yet, as now we only have 1 open inhibitor, and we do still have a tier 2 turret on the bot side, but Valhalla fighting off more than they can chew, and Yoshi being a little bit too aggressive, turning this play around on themselves.
I really think that it's still really good for Valhalla. You open them like a top inhibitor, which means you're gonna be forming 3 waves, and the enemy team is gonna be just taking 2, since like every minion for the top wave is gonna be taken out. There is no objective on the map, and like there is no major objective. Yeah, exactly. You got the Otacon, you got the XP, you got everything, so you're gonna get closer with the XP. You're gonna get extra gold, so I don't think that soul point for this series is gonna be worth it. The Atakan, I mean, it's still winnable. It's still like you have 6k gold advantage. You can just like run them down and win the game, but like a questionable choice for me.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. When you're this far ahead, there's no reason you should be giving an objective like Otacon up for a tier 2, this early in the game. Baron's not even up, so you don't have any follow-up to the tier 3 outside of another dragon, but it's not even Dragon Soul. So I 100% agree with you. I think that Zubumafu kind of had a missed opportunity there, and we see the sense of urgency on the side of Valhalla Berserkers. They're like, well, we need to start taking these fights now, as the Ornhorn is going to completely whip, though, and so there's not going to be much follow-up here. They're just trying to protect their tier 2 while Sivir protects the mid lane.
They don't even have engages right now. It's gonna be only Zens getting in and trying to make them separated. Tier 2 in the mid lane is gonna be taken out. But keep an eye on Sivir. Keep an eye on your carry. The Shuriman Princess.
Yeah, and as going in now, they do finally get the separation that they needed to take this tier 2. They're pushing forward, invested in the backline on top of Zeroni. The Flag and Drag coming through, but the Janna ult stops the Cataclysm from coming through, and now Ambessa is sort of on the run here as Aurora's going to come in, try to flank from the outside, but Sivir is not with them. They do not have the damage to take out this Ambessa or this Jarvan, and now they're just going to take a little bit more of the resources, maybe even reset and go get Baron, or just head straight to Baron and dare Valhalla with no Ornhorn engage to come at them.
It makes more sense to just like try to rush Baron, get tempo reset and try to play around it, but at least you have a lot of gold, you have a lot of items, so you should just be living your dream. And right now, oh no, I really hate this, but like we still have no time to speak about selling your Doran's blade and getting a Pink Ward on an AD carry. The Doran's blade is pretty important. The only lifesteal item that you have currently. You're gonna be looking for the Baron damage.
Kind of caught up here as Burrow's going to Flag and Drag in and just keep his Aurora safe, but now they're going to be retreating over back into the Baron. But yeah, the extra, and it's not even just lifesteal now. Now it's Omnivamp, right? So every boomerang you hit or every time that you hit a zap, you're actually getting a little bit more back. So on these 80 carries, these Doran's blades are like, the later the game goes, the more worthwhile they are. But vision is the name of the game. You want to be able to death rush, just like this as DL steps up a little bit too closely. Yoshi trying to get on there. He does use the soccer ball to try to get away. Will have to flash over the wall, so now it's a flashless Delio, but he's the one with the shields and the heals and the ultimate to get everybody else out. Yoshi kind of caught out a little bit. He's going to pop the ult and Burrow a little too far at the start stage. He's going to get popped and Numbs 1-2 coming through, but the worlds collide as Aurora comes through. A lot of health being burned down as Ambessa trying to come through, gets a public execution into the backline. Right now, after getting the Janna killed, and now there's a couple of resets.
Jinx on fire!
Jack is on fire, as you said. He's gonna get the slow onto the Zinshao, pops the Quay, and that's a double kill for her. Or super late to the party. He's gonna get knocked back by the soccer ball, and now he's gonna fall down to the Jinx as well. And that is 3 members still alive for Zubumafu, and there's multiple pings going through, but I think that they try to end it right here.
Zubumafu, they have the death timers. It's not gonna be that long. Jenna is gonna be spawning in 5 seconds. The mid inhibitor turret is just gonna be taken out. And this crystal is gonna be an addition bonus, and I believe the top lane's inhibitor exactly. You're just gonna collect inhibitors, play it slow, go for the buy.
He goes in here, but he's gonna get stopped up onto the choppers, and there's nothing that Zeroni can do. Is he's gonna get Jinx excited again. They're gonna get this inhibitor anyways. Sorry to cut you off there, but they just won't stop fighting.
No, you didn't cut me off. What cut me off like the Jinx damage. that cut the line for Valhalla's Berserkers.
Yeah, so Aurora gonna pop over into the Baron pit. They're gonna keep this Baron pit pretty safe. I don't think that there's any way outside of maybe a rogue way shot, as the vision is actually caught up by that vision ward. I thought that maybe that ward in the backside was going to give them a little bit, but no. And that's actually just used their public execution on nothing. Maybe a little bit of a fat finger there, but that's a huge reset. Jinx has gotten 6 kills since her last back, and she's going to be spending all of that now as we see the item completions coming through. Completes the Lord Dominix, completes the Infinity Edge, and now is ready to go with a Vamp Scepter, upgraded boots. It's time for Zubumafu for their final push. Let's see if they have what it takes to close this game out.
24 kills in a rough early game. That what takes Zubumafu to unleash the demon himself in their games and on his strategy. Look at Ornn.
Out, they do end up catching 2 out, but number 1-2 just gets deleted by the Jinxes. Once Collider's gonna miss most of the people, but it does hit the Janna. Quay falling down, triple kill coming out for the Jinx, a quadra kill coming out. Oh, that's a pentakill for the Jinx. Didn't say pentakill on the map. Okay, there it is, a pentakill for Maniac Trojan Boy. Maniac indeed, as he is going to just completely demolish this Zubumafu after a sort of messy first couple of minutes. Just completely dominate this and take game 1 of the final series here for Merc Esports.
Yes, the first win over the grand final. Zubumafu collects it. And yeah, it's gonna be a pretty long best of 5. So grab your snacks, get ready, see the stats, and see what those teams were capable of doing. And with that being said, we're just gonna head to a really small break. So don't go anywhere, get everything, stay tuned for game number 2. So see you.
Without you, I just can't breathe. You'll never get away from me.
Blinding lights, lost in your eyes, feeling the pressure. You and I, spending the night, chasing forever. For you, oh no, I'd be your one and only. Don't let me go, don't leave me lonely. Say you'll stay through the pain, say you won't go running. Let me in through your veins, get off of my loving. Let me in through your veins. Get off my Say you'll be here when your head starts to clear, but I'm drowning. Just say you'll jump in. I'm here only because your stare won't ever let me go. I'm here only cause I'm aware with you is better than all alone. Oh, 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 say what you're dying to say. No, 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 no. Oh, oh, tonight we're stars but we'll fade away. Go on and light me up. Oh, go on and light me up while we're golden. Come on and light me up. Oh, come on and light me up before we come down. Stars will always come down. So before we come down, down, down. Go on and light me up. Oh, go on and light me up while we're golden. Come on and light me up. Oh, come on and light me up before we come down. Before we come down, stars will always come down. So before we come down, 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 stars will always come down. Go on and light me up. Oh, go on and light me up while we're golden. Come on and light me up. Oh, come on and light me up before we come down. Go on and light me up. Oh, go on and light me up while we're golden. Come on and light me up. Oh, come on and light me up before we come down. What does it mean to be happy? 'Cause it looks like we all don't know. Glass half full or empty. Man, we just putting on a show. Try to look to the heavens to tell us things that we beg to know. Like what did this all mean? There's no tomorrow. Oh, you know, I try to find a purpose in my life to drive me, to guide me. Oh, doctor, I feel dead inside.
Oh, broken dreamer, is your mind? Oh, all the scars, let's leave them behind. We light the world up now, let us fire in your eyes. To the darkness, into the night. Oh, broken dreamer, is your mind? Oh, all the scars, let's leave them behind. We light the world up now, let us fire in your eyes. To the darkness, into the night.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Murky Sports Emerald Finals between Zubumafu Rises and Valhalla Berserkers. And if you blink, you might have missed the ending of the game, as the last 3 minutes were pure chaos as Zubumafu just took everything from Valhalla, including the Nexus. So they get the game 1 win. The sides have been swapped. And Sekio, how are we feeling about game 1?
I'm feeling so good. Like early game, Valhalla just had everything in their hand. Mid lane Brayu, like he had a huge mistake from Zubumafu mid lane, or was it the other way around? Like they didn't change.
Yeah, where they swapped over into there and
They
they
swap?
swapped.
Oh yeah. So yeah, no, not the mid lane. They had like a huge early game advantage when it comes to the server. She didn't use it toward her side. She didn't just like, yeah, we're gonna have the early game, we're gonna have the advantage. No, she just like give up the laning phase. She went down 20 CS in less than the first 10 minutes, so that was pretty weird. Orn did his best. He's not here to carry, he's just here to make sure that you reach to the late game.
Mhm.
And yeah, he didn't die, so
Yeah,
nice
and
one.
and I'm with you. I'll give that over to who's actually playing off role in the top lane because they had a substitute. Zelrani is usually one of their subs, so that was who was playing the Janus. So support playing an Ornn top into an Ambessa is not an easy feat. So really good job on his part. And before we get into this draft, I just want to give you all of the kudos because you called it before the game. This comp is hard for pro players to use and master players to pull off. Even with all the early leads that they had, they weren't able to execute it the way that they needed to, and Zubumafu were able to just take advantage of that. So big props to Sekio calling that out, because once it got into using the comp, they just couldn't do it. As we get into the bans here now for Valhalla, we do get the Tristana, Vi, and Pantheon ban, and the Wukong, Gwen, and Syndra ban for Zubumafu, as Viego is picked up on the first one. Sorry, a little bit behind, but I had to shout you out there. And the Jax and the Kaisa is going over to Zubumafu. So another late game hyper carry in the Kaisa in the hands
Hmm.
of the Maniac.
I can see Draven. I believe that if you got this player at Draven, it's
Ooh.
gonna be pretty bloody. Draven is a really good champion. Yeah,
Mm.
you should go for it. It's gonna just like be a pain in the ass for Kaisa in the early game, and you're just gonna need to pair it with Leona, with Braum, something actually pretty aggressive in the early game. It's gonna look pretty good.
Yeah, and I like this, and we know that Draven in the late game isn't going to be that one shot. He's not going to be the super hyper carry that Kaisa is. But if you can get to your 4-item spike when she still has 2.5, it doesn't matter. As I really like this pickup as well, just because, like you said, like in the laning phase, her low range is going to be really detrimental and it's going to be really hard. So I'm with you. I think that they are going to pair this with an engaged support, but they're going to leave that for the second round as they want the Scion Prio in the top lane. And then, Kaisa is going to have something that's going to be able to keep her safe. So maybe they end up going with the Braum for her so that she can, maybe use that. But we see the Shen coming in, which was also banned in game 1. So we're going to see the top lane matchup here, the Scion and the Shen coming through. So two of these huge picks that were banned in game 1, we're going to see in game 2
Hmm.
as we're going.
Yeah. So Sion, it makes sense that you wanna lead big the support, so you're gonna be able to have the prio or like have the counter pick when it comes to the bot lane. You wanna just have that in your mind. I don't think that when you're playing Draven, you're gonna be looking for Lulu.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I had the same face. I was like, oh, Luluban, maybe they just
Hmm.
don't want the speed up. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that, I mean, anything paired with Draven is going to be good, but I think I'm kind of thinking the same way as you. I think they're going to try to go for an all in here. And I think that's why you picked the Shen, as we're going to see the Nami put out as well. Nami makes a little bit more sense just because now she slows along with everything else. But yeah, a little weird on the bans from Zubumafu. We'll see if it ends up biting them in the end, as the Nautilus is banned out from Valhalla, and we'll see what other, I'm assuming, support they throw this way.
Time out, time out. Like that's just a bane to my brain. Like when you're in the second phase rotation. Okay, I'm just gonna say it out loud. Yeah, Lulu is good. Also, Nami is good, but like that's if you're playing with the Lucian, not Draven. Wakey, wakey.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I don't get it, but I guess we'll see. Maybe they know Zyrani's champ pool, and maybe they're not very strong on a Rel,
Maybe.
on a Leona, something like that. So I guess we'll end up seeing. Obviously, both of those enchanters can give a lot of agency to Draven, and if he does get ahead, no matter what, if he gets ahead, he's going to snowball. As we see the Vex coming out for the mid lane on Zubumafu, really really strong on the Aurora in the first one. Snipper had a really hard time dealing with that, so. Looks like Zerobi's going to be on another very strong control mage here on the Vex. Are you feeling good about that one?
I like the Vex, and also they're just giving the last pick for the support, so you're making sure that you can't lose the bot lane matchup. You can just like get this into 50-50 situation, but in Avia, I really love in Avia being played into competitive play,
Mm-hmm.
and also Navy is one of those champions that can just like control a whole lane, close a wall. So when it comes to late game, it's pretty impressive. And
Yeah, you were calling for it on game one, but it was banned out. You're seeing it now, and it does look like maybe Zubumafu knows Zyroni because they banned out two enchanters, and it looks like they're going to try to pair this Draven with another enchanter. The Seraphine is the next one that is pulled through.
Seraphine is good.
I do like Seraphine. I do believe, especially with the Viego that's going to want to be getting into the front line, a Scion, you're going to be able to use your Encore and just get it to spread out in between if they get caught up in a corridor or anything like that. So it is a very strong pick, but it's not going to give the 2v2 the same amount of pressure that it would have had with a Leona, with an Amumu, or a Rel, something like that. So
Mm.
little bit of back on there as we're going to see the Blitzcrank coming out for Zubumafu. We're going to get to see DL on a hook champ here. I don't really like it, but I do love the spice. How are you feeling about this?
I like the Blitzcrank you're playing with Kaisa. I mean, if we switch it Blitz with Seraphine, I'm gonna be more happy.
Hmm.
It's just like for me, Seraphine is pretty good. Like when you're gonna use the ultimate over 2-3 members, it's gonna be a huge impact for Valhalla. Also, add up the Navy as well, add up the Draven's axes, a
Hmm.
reset for Vigo. Whenever you get a reset for Vigo, you know that the team fight is over. Like
Hmm.
even though if you just get Viego with one item and a half, it's gonna be crazy. On the other hand, you're playing with Vix, a pretty safe champion that you can count on. Giving the last pick for Blitzcrank, you gotta do some heavy lifting in the game.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of bonus on that support pick here. So we're gonna have to see if DL can live up to that standard. But kind of opposite from game one is the ease of use of this comp.
Hmm.
Valhalla seems like they have a much easier time going to be able to pull this off. A lot is going to be resting on the shoulders of DL on this Blitzcrank to get a good hook onto a Seraphine, onto an Anivia, onto the Draven. In these late team fights to try to basically turn the front to the back or to get picks. And then I also really want to see a Vex ult into a Shen ult, into a follow-up, into a team fight, because I think that's so much fun when you see these champions with, these semi-global into a global. So a lot of really cool, fun plays I think will be able to come out from the side of Zubumafu. And if they play the game like they did last time, weather the early storm and just play their macro the way that they want to, I think that they're going to be okay here.
A lot of potential, or like a lot of pressure being brought onto Bleds, a lot of good resources that you can invest from Valhalla. You have Enivia, you have Draven. Whenever he cashes out, it's gonna be almost over when it comes to laning phase. Like you get an extra 400, 500 gold over just one kill. So
Mm.
a lot of questions for the upcoming game. Is it gonna be Valhalla going for the equalizer, so you're gonna be making the series best of three, or it's gonna be only one game away for Zubumafu? A lot of questions for both of those teams. We saw the draft, we saw everything. So if you're still here, you don't have your popcorn, you don't have your snacks, just go real quick, get them, and get ready for game number 2 from Zubumafu versus Valhalla's. So it's just gonna take us few minutes with a short break, and we're gonna get back to you as soon as possible.
you, I'm heavy breathing. Feels like I'm lucid dreaming. I'm not usually the type to rush into the night. This time I can't be speeding. I'm taking it slow, but I just want more. I'm taking it slow, just go with the flow. I'm taking it slow, but I just want more. I'm taking it slow, just go with the flow. I'm taking it slow. My knees on the I'm begging for more. It's you I adore. You took me to see Versailles in the middle of July. I'm falling to the deep end, giving into my feelings, afraid to go on this ride. I'm scared to crash inside. This time I might be speeding. I'm taking it slow, but I just want more. I'm taking it slow, just go with the flow. I'm taking it slow, but I just want more. I'm taking it slow, just go with the flow. I'm taking it slow. My knees on the I'm begging for more. It's you I
All right, everybody, welcome back to Murky Sports Emerald Finals between Zubumafu Rises and Valhalla Berserkers. We have a 1-0 series lead for Zubumafu as we're getting into the red. Valhalla on the blue side, Zubumafu on the red side. The draft is done, the picks are in, and here we go. Sekio, how we feeling about game two?
Game 2 is gonna be do or die. Either we go for game point for Zubumafu or Valhalla's might been cooking for something, and who's cooking is gonna be Zubumafu. Nobody's here, and like it
The opposite
feels
side.
like none of the teams are just like, yeah, you're finding nothing. No one is here.
Yeah, both of the teams kind of looking for the same play, just on opposite ends of the map, looking for maybe an ADC to step out too far, but we're getting to see Snipper on this Anivia, which is something that you wanted to see in game one. How do you see this Vex-Anivia matchup going on as Zubumafu is not done with their invade, as they want to go for this and kill this Viego in his blue side?
No, I just like think that they should just go for the deep vision, reset, go play for the laning phase, and be more of a gentleman. Like knowing where Viego's starting is pretty crucial. Like, yeah, he removed the ward. He got like the extra 10 gold. Congrats, is gonna help you get into yeah, and I'm trying to keep it family friendly. We're not here in my stream, so yeah, it's not gonna help you with anything. On the other end, you don't know where Jax actually started, and going back to the mid lane matchup, I believe that Inivia is gonna be having a really a bit like rough early game when it comes to clearing the wave, but like when the enemy player doesn't know how to play versus Inivia, like what we just saw when it was like the previous trade, I believe it's gonna be easy for him to have like a solo kills.
Okay, so that's something to keep an eye on here, as Snipper is winning these early trades a little bit, but as you said, Anivia very, very mana hungry early on, very hard to pull off until you get your tier, until you get a mana crystal, but then you're sacrificing a lot of damage. But as the game goes on, the scaling happens. Anivia very, very strong in the late game and does pair very, very well with the other champions that they have, as Shen is actually doing the first game life, is actually once again on this top lane, just kind of bullying out Whom on this Scion, just kind of like they did in game one. So Whom we know off role in the top lane. What do you expect to see out of them?
Whom's just going for the safe picks, going for something is not gonna be pretty risky, but in mid lane you gotta keep an eye into these trades. Anivia is in a really good position, but careful, this minion is gonna make a huge impact. Minions?
Boom, turning it around here as, yeah, Shen taking a little bit too much damage, but does get the first blood. Is he going to be able to get away from the Scion as he has to flash away here? And Scion going to clean this up a little bit, but the minions are going to kind of get stopped up. So first game for life, getting the first kill on this Shen, decides to stay with the wave, and Scion immediately teleporting back to the top lane. He's going to try to make him pay for this, as this is going to be a shoved in wave, and then potentially Shen missing out on a lot of XP. So you get the first blood, but now you're kind of missing out on about a wave of experience instead. Shen allowing him to stay there as the junglers just sort of going back and forth here, trying to get the difference on the scuttles here, as Jack's a little bit late to the party, does not clear as fast as this Viego.
It would have been like looked like a bow special if he just zoned Shen from the wave and kept harassing him. But what happened is the absolute opposite of it lane.
As Burrow flashes through, gets the stun onto the Anivia. They're trying to crack the egg here as Yoshi's coming down, trying to get something on the back end here. Flashes forward, misses the stun. Burrow just gonna hop over on top of his Vex and get out of here. But now Whom flashing forward, does get the knockup and the flash out of the Vex. A couple turret shots, and Whom and Yoshi are gonna have to back up as DL comes up on this Blitzcrank to keep his Vex a little bit more safe as they try to crash this wave in the mid. Meanwhile, Shen up top with now a 3-4 CS lead. Happy to just sit up there and farm on his own, as Scion has to blow all of his summoners to try to take out this Vex. Good play by Zubumafu.
Really good play from Zubumafu. Also, it's gonna open the map a little bit for yourself to get creative with your upcoming decisions. I believe that they are going for some lane swaps. They want to send Anivia into a safe spot, like no flash, no X. So for the next 5 seconds, it's gonna be playing in top lane versus this Shin. I don't like it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're sort of like neutralizing the lane. Here's the Blitzcrank hook is going to miss on Nums 1-2, and a little bit of damage trade back on the other ways. Blitzcrank gonna walk in, get the knockup, and then get out, as Nums 1-2 does do a lot of damage on the Maniac Trojan Boy, so he's gonna have to be a little careful here under here. Shen actually gets a taunt onto the Anivia, onto the side. Okay, so they lane swap back. Alright, so you're not gonna be seeing the Anivia up top for very long. And Shen does hit 6, and he's knocking down Whom on this Scion very, very low, really asserting his dominance on this top lane.
So yeah, he was just like picking a wave. That Scion just took it in mid lane, and he's just going back for his lane. That makes more sense. And Anivia at this point of the game, he's having the wrong startup items.
Yeah, as we see, goes for the blasting one. Maybe thinks that he can manage this manage the mana a little bit better. Shen gets another taunt onto the sign. He's gonna have to pop the shield just to get a little bit of damage back, but Shen now has the wave in a nice frozen state. Viego's gonna have to come up here to sort of crash this wave and help him out. Otherwise, this is probably gonna be a dead Scion here again. But he's on the bot side looking for a gank over here with Burrow on this Jax, looking to potentially counter gank here as he's over on his blue side as well. He's walking through. They have no idea that Viego's down here.
I have a really problem with Zen. It's not for him, but it's like you need to help fix top wave, you need to help fix mid wave, and you need to be ganking in bot, invading, and doing everything. Otherwise, your team is not gonna be able to just have a chance into winning a team fight. So that's a lot of war with a pretty low responsibility, like pretty low respawn. But right now you can see Zoo Boomafu are gonna give the first break of the game.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen when you have a bot lane with the prio of a Draven and a Seraphine, able to get a lot of damage onto the Kai'Sa and then just transfer that over into the Dragon. So first Drake going to go over to the side of Valhalla Berserkers. They get what they want. Sion still roaming down, still trying to do his best, knows that he can't match up with the Shen very well, and we do see Anivia does finally buy the tier. 24 stacks on it, could have at least 48 or even more if they would have bought that first, but really wanted the blasting wand as they're getting ready to get this Rod of Ages set up. So yeah, still going to be a little mana hungry, clearing the waves, but out of mana here. They're going to have to just sort of back here. Boom. Level down on the Shen now, and Shen doing a pretty good job here. Who you see first game, Sparrow's gonna come through. He's gonna smite the blue away from Yoshi. Gonna get hit up with the Vex ult. Ults himself out. Does not follow through. The Shen ult coming through as well. Flashing forward, getting the kill. Zyroni is here on the Seraphine, but nothing to be able to do with that, as Burrow's just going to take even more away from Yoshi. Really, really good vision play from the side of Zoo Boomafu as they get the blue buff and a kill. And Viego has to reset as the grubs come up. You already have your support on the top lane here.
Support is just looking for something. You're not gonna be fishing for whom. It's just like, yeah, huge refrigerator that you're not gonna be able to open to do anything. On the other end, like, you're playing 1v2. It makes more sense to lose some plates, but my minute 9, they're going for this slow base, but Bunny is just like gonna take the choo-choo train out of Sion.
Yeah, but that's a big ultimate from Sion now. Burnt down as their eyes are on the grubs here, and Viego on the bot side. It looks like they're going to try to pressure over on the bot side here, maybe try to get a dive or a kill, or even transfer that over into the mid lane, as DL just has no openings for these Blitzcrank hooks just yet. But yeah, huge ultimate burnt by the Sion. Shen with no ultimate as well, as he used it to get the kill onto Viego, and Jax slowly just taking the grubs. Meanwhile, a fight breaking out on the bot side as Valhalla is closing in on the bot lane of Zoo Boomafu.
Minute 10, Mork is gonna be here, and it's only 3 kills.
Snipper walking a little bit too close to Zerobi here. Takes a little bit of damage, but nothing come out of it.
Pretty tough situation. It's gonna be for Valhalla.
Yeah.
And
Blitzcrank hook does come through. Zyroni is going to get the encore off, but Maniac flashing away out of there. The Ignite is going to drop Zyroni down a little bit. Bot lane's going to have to do that. Meanwhile, on the top side, Jax patiently waiting on the outsides for this gank to come through as the Shen. Oh, good flash from the Sion is going to get the slow off, and then the Vex coming through, ulting in, getting on top of Zyroni, gonna kill the Seraphine. Blitzcrank gets the knockup, but is it enough as 2 turret shots go? And now Yoshi on this Viego flashing in, getting the stun onto the Blitzcrank, but on the backside, Draven taking too much damage from the Vex, no mana, and now Yoshi super low under the turret, isn't gonna be able to do anything. That is a 1 for nothing, and a couple flashes and barriers burned on the side of Valhalla.
it's gonna be no kills taken. Or actually no, it's gonna be 2 kills taken for Zoo Boomafu. And Snipper is just gonna try to trade. You don't wanna donate a lot of gold, a lot of EXP without at least a trade, but right now, woo,
Right, and Roby
Sniper.
stuck inside here is going to get the... Yeah,
He's just owning.
I thought they were going for that.
Wait.
Burrow up here again, trying to get on top of the Shen. Does get the taunt off, but will not be able to finish this up as the Titanic is there. And the stun onto Coon, but that was a lot of turret shots. The ultimate from Sion coming through. Gets a solo kill in a 1v2. And on the other side, Snipper in the mid lane is going to get the shields from the Seraphine. The follow-up from Diego is going to be able to take down the Vex. And DL, slowed down from using his W, is going to get the reset from Yoshi, but not enough. The ultimate hits, but just no follow-up damage, unfortunately, for Valhalla, as now that is another kill, the 2 kills turned over for the side of Valhalla on a bit of a misplay on the top side, and then a just kind of caught out of nowhere in the mid lane.
Shen is looking pretty good at this game. 4 kills, 1.7k gold advantage. He got the Trinity Force. He got the second item. Started maybe soon. Also,
Did Shen get a follow-up kill on the Sion on the top side after that failed gank?
probably, yeah.
I think he did. I think he did. But yeah, because now he's 4-0. So unfortunately, we missed that. But yeah, first game life is really doing work over on this top lane, just like in game 1. And now we're seeing Zubumafu trying to go for this bot side here as the Jax is down here. DL on the Blitzcrank looking for a flank engage, but is just going to get rooted up by the Seraphine, and they're going to turn their attentions. Nope, they're still going for it, but now slowing it down, turning their attentions towards the dragon. This potentially could be a 4v4 as Snipper wants to get a little bit of a fight onto the Vex, but is just going to get feared out.
He just wants to get her out of the equation in the mid lane now. You can see the fight.
Hitting up, and Diego without an ultimate cannot close the distance. Vex going in onto Snipper, but I do believe the egg is up. He's gonna get a stun off, a little bit of a trade back, but that's an easy kill for the side of Zubumafu as we see the Jax. Oh my gosh, there's so much damage down here. Does end up popping the egg, but will not be able to finish it off. But this Jax doing a lot of work around the map already with 5 assists out of the 7 kills for Zubumafu.
Zubumafu are on a ticking bomb. Within is pretty low HP. Jungle is the same. Invitation coming from the bot side. The vision is Inavia. Welcome to the score. 0 mana conduct.
Yeah, so the Route of Ages is finished up, but is still going to have a little bit of mana issues. The Shen takes the top lane, so now that's already the first turret and 2 of the 3 that they need for the... Oh, actually, they get the feats because they already have the feats of warfare. So that's going to be the feats of strength going over to the side of Zubumafu. They are in complete control of this early game.
Early game hook whiffs. This hook would have been pretty crucial. We didn't see Blitz hook from the start of this game, 15 minutes almost, and not even a single hook that landed that turned it into a kill. Quick questions for us, and right now it's more of who's gonna be playing better and who's gonna look for the scale.
Yeah, and we see here already with the 3k gold lead over for the almost 3k gold lead over for the side of Zubumafu, as they're just kind of taking everything that they want here. And Yoshi is going to get Blitzcrank hooked up. Maniac Trophy deciding not to take the fight here on this Kai'Sa. Yoshi trying to push forward here. He has the Anivia rotating down. It is a 3v4 or 2v4 over on the bot lane, but we do have a Shen ultimate up if the engage went any longer.
Minute 15, early game is down. Each one of both teams got his first item. Besides supports, we don't count them. So, yeah, they are just poor.
The fancy beat is going to get the hit on the Vex, but yeah, DL really looking for one of these hooks to land onto this bot lane here. Not finding it as Yoshi's coming down here again, but Burrow on the top side on this Jack's going to try to close out onto the Sion. Flashes forward, does get the Sion ultimate, but he's going to be stunned up afterwards by the Jacks. They're both trying their damnedest to get him down, and they do. And almost no health taken away from the Shen, as every auto attack from the Sion is going to be blocked up. Burrow taken down to about 2/3 health, but gonna pop the Rift Herald, and it looks like they're gonna break open this tier 2 here. Snipper on the mid lane does get the stun off. Vex misses a couple hits, but now Shen coming through. The wall comes up. It is not going to be enough. He gets the taunt and the kill. This is a 5-0-1 Shen, a monster from the top lane.
Game is going to be a little bit tense. 3k goal difference. Blitz might look for an hook. It's gonna be pretty important if you get this. Draven, oh boy, the axes and the cash out double kill is gonna be landing into Draven, and the sail has shifted. Like Valhalla.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane play by the Draven Seraphine on the bot lane to get that. The flash forward, getting the kills, Blitzcrank, missing the hook. As you said, that is so important that he hits these hooks. If he would have pulled the Draven into the turret, that could have been huge, but misses it. Draven gets his first cash out. Huber's already completed. It's going to have a lot of money to go spend here.
Woohoo! Second item. And like I have seen this build over Draven, I don't think that he's going for it. It's gonna be like an off Draven tank meta build. But he's just going for the usual, for the normal itemization. So 2 items, 17 minutes, huge cash out. And like speaking of cashing out, he got 1.6k gold out of it when it comes to the advantage, but the fight in mid lane.
The fight is coming over here as Yoshi does end up getting on top of Vex here. Blitzcrank not enough to do anything here as they're going into this. He gets another stun onto Maniac Trojan Boy, but Snipper ends up getting the final hit there. Shen coming in with the teleport, does taunt on the backside, gets the resurrection egg out of there, and Zeroni on the backside getting hit up by Burrow. DL Bay barely getting away with his life, and now Anivia is caught in between the Shen and the Jax, is gonna go down. Whom not enough to get rid of the Blitzcrank, and now is gonna get chased down by this Jax as soon as the counter attack is up. He gets in there, gets the stun. Boom, nowhere to go. Tries to turn his attention to the Blitzcrank, but that's just a little bit of a bait for him, as Burrow, the counter-strike, is going to be able to stop all of the damage from the Scion. That is 3 kills for 1 on the side of
Zubumafu. They are in a pretty tight situation right now, even though that they are up 2k gold, but the Draven, if you see that Raven's damage, he's just gonna use an axe and 2, and yeah, whenever he got those axes, whenever he got that damage, he's gonna get some resets for Viego, and then the game is over. Like, I believe that Viego might play Blitzcrank better than Blitz himself.
Yeah, but so we'll see if they can play themselves to that comp there. The Draven is scary, but we saw in that last fight, if he's dead, he can't throw his axes, so that might be the win con over for Zubumafu, to just kind of delete him before the fight starts, as the Dragon is in their sights now, and the rotations are coming in. The Shen with the ultimate pushing in the top lane, ready to come through when needed. DL gonna knock up Scion, and then he's gonna get jumped on by the Viego, by everyone else. And coming through, but it does not come through in time. Vex on the inside, Kaisa on the back line, trying to take out the Draven, does get the barrier, kills the Draven. At the same time, Viego does kill the Jax, so that does look like a winning fight for the side of Valhalla. They get the fight they want, they kill, but they're gonna lose the tier 2. Vex still here, trying to get the kill on the Yoshi, but he is gonna smite the Dragon away and get away, and now Zyroni and Viego trying to chase down Zerobia on this Vex, and the tier 3 inhibitor turret is coming through. Fear gonna be enough to push Yoshi away here and buy a little bit more time. There's more damage coming through onto Yoshi, but with the Seraphine and the shields, enough to take him down as they get the Vex, and now Valhalla with a little bit of momentum and a tempo swing in their favor. Look, as the pings are going towards the Otacon, they want to push this advantage and they want to get themselves back into this game.
20 minutes. Valhalla, Zubumafu. The game is just almost dead even. You can see no goal difference between both teams. You saw Anivia's control over the previous team fight. Didn't see a lot of damage from Anivia, and like, it's so hilarious. He's just going for the mana build right now. Whenever he gets the 3rd item, he starts doing just a little bit of damage. Yeah, you
Black
can
Fire
count
Sword.
on for the
Huge power
upcoming.
spike.
I believe Leandros might be his go-to item. Not sure.
Oh, okay. Blitzcrank flirting with death here as he is going to spot out the Viego inside of his shroud, taking a little bit of the resources around here. They do want the Otacon. Vex on the bot side is just kind of pushing slowly. Does have to teleport to join on a flank here. Yoshi surrounding Shen here is going to get taunted up. He's going to follow through. Draven does get the knock aside, but not enough damage
Still.
to kill this Shen. That is a tanky boy. And now the re-engage
Blitz?
over from the side. Blitz hitting up, gets a knock up and an ult, pulls in Zion, but now the Hurricane ult coming through. The Draven Axe coming through. The Draven ult coming through, hitting up, and now Maniac Trojan Boy is the next target. Kaisa ults out, but is still going to fall. As they're trying to push this a little bit more. Otacon taking a lot of damage to the Draven here. It's going to reset. Valhalla wants us to take it still. We do have 3 members, including the Jax, on the side of Zubumu. Snipper gets Vex caught out in the ultimate, but Shen with the taunt coming through, saving him out, but takes a lot of damage himself. And now on the backside, Sion versus Shen, Jax inside the Tri-Brush, gonna try to keep him a little bit away here. Comes 1-2 on the Draven, trying to heal up off of these minions, taking a lot of damage, and the 50-50 comes through, and Jax, Burrow on the Jax, steals the Otacon. The ensuing fight coming through, Nums 1-2 doing a lot of damage, and is gonna get the kill onto the Jax here, and now they're looking for this tier 1 turret. Snipper with the Anivia passive is going to be up front here. DL looking for a hook and lands it on. The taunt comes through, the ultimate from Yoshi on the backside is going to get the reset, flashing out, gets a fear off, and another reset for Yoshi. Now he's looking over for DL on the Blitzcrank. Boom, being the good guy in the backline, but it's Cyrone who's going to pay for his transgressions, as now they're looking to take on this Kaisa, trying to do their best to just sort of do what they can, but is going to have to back off as the tier 1 falls to Valhalla, even though they lost the Otacon, win the ensuing team fight, and take their consolation prize, the tier 1 turret.
Valhalla Berserkers are just swinging the mood, changing the odds, and getting closer and closer into having even equal turrets with Zubumu Fu, the 4th turret on the top side. You can see the bull coming out, but
Ultimate from the he's gonna get the kill onto the Viego. He's gonna flash over Anivia while followed up on the center and gets a double kill for himself. Amazing hero play from the Kaisa. Loses the tier 2, but gets 2 huge kills in the process.
That's just weird. Just saying, like that's over-aggression. You just had to recall, get tempo, HP items, and go back. Play into side lane. Maybe try to play into mid lane. You still have a lot of options, but he chose the tough one. And what happened? He just like lost his advantage, and currently the game, even though that Zubumafu still got an advantage when it comes to gold, but still the game feels it's the same. You're watching 2 teams being neck and neck, and they are pretty competitive.
Yeah, and I'm gonna quote one of the goats of the caster world here. What wins games? Tempo, tempo, tempo. And Valhalla, as they just get all the tempo, kind of give it away to the Kaisa there. So we'll see now with those 2 kills, does end up going through. On the way to the Nashers here, as the Dragon is about to spawn, and this is going to be a huge team fight here. We'll see which team comes out on top. Death Rush is not super death when you have that tanky Sion in the front there, as he's trying to zone off the members of Zubumafu. Taking a little bit of poke from the Vex, but they start up the Dragon here as Jack's coming around on the bot side here. They do spot out the ward. They do know he's got the counterattack wound up, and now 50 not gonna find anybody. DL misses the hook. Sion ult coming through. The Encore is going to miss the Kaisa, but catch the Blitzcrank. Boom, gets a kill onto the Blitzcrank. Resets coming out from the Viego. Counterattack to Burrow on the outside is now Yoshi gets the kill on the Kaisa. That's 2 for nothing. The follow-up from the Shen does end up getting the kill onto Yoshi. Taunts up the Seraphine, kills them, but now Boom and Snipper following through, flash forward at the Anivia wall, trying to kill this Vex, and Shen doing his best to disengage, getting knocked up, sat inside this Anivia. Ult is just so much damage, and now Vex on their run for their life is going to get out. really, really good play by Zerobi to get out of there when it looked like they were dead to rights. So another big fight, another big win for Valhalla, and now they finally, for the first time, I think in the entire series, have a goal.
I really like Valhalla's aggression. I like Valhalla's spirit. I like what they're going for. Like, yeah, we're not better when it comes to controlling map. We're not better in some points or like some cases when it comes to laning phase, but when it comes to team fights, when you have a set composition, when you're playing around Kaisa, just gonna ignore everything and go for it, get that W. Right now, it's getting closer. So when they stole the trade, you want the team fight, playing over objectives, playing over your own territories. It's all getting into the position or like into this situation that it's either you get the second game, which is going to be pretty hard, or make it equal with the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's right. And big shout out to the chat, Pinky over there. We took the words right out of my mouth. You know, this Shen is coming into these fights like super late. It just misses on Num's 1-2. He's gonna follow it down now as he flashes forward, and a little bit of a weird play, but now they're pushing forward on this mid lane tier 2. What I was gonna say is that you have the Shen ultimate, but he's using it a little bit too late as they're trying to engage. He's coming through on the back end like way too late as the Sion ult is going to try to catch Sen out. He's just going to dash over the wall here. The Vex ult missed earlier, so that is another cooldown that is down for Zubumafu. Gonna hit the Yoshi inside of his shroud, and now they're trying to corral around the Valhalla to try to force a play here. We'll see if they can get it as couple Kai'Sa shots missed. They do sense the Shen on the backside here. Snipper's sort of alone, and now the death ball coming in from Zubumafu trying to catch this up as Sion's on the backside catching the wave, and a Blitzcrank hook finally hits. You don't have to hit them all, you gotta hit one. The follow-up, Kai'Sa ulting into the backside. Burrow with the counter-strike jumping on top of the Draven. He's dead as well. There's nothing that can be done here except for Boom and Snipper do get a follow-up kill onto the Blitzcrank, but the Anivia egg is all but dead. And on the bot side, Maniac chasing down Boom on this Sion will not be able to kill him, but that is a lot of pressure being thrown in at the tier 3 of the top side, and all the while Vex pushing in the mid lane, the tier 2, these 20-second death timers, or 40-second death timers, so they're going to get a lot for this, and that might just be the huge throw of the game that just breaks this wide open for Zubumafu.
The inhibitor in the top side for Zubumafu. For a second, you thought that they're starting to lose control of the game, and then voila, the game already shifted and it got back to the direct call. Right now, no recall for tempo, no waiting for anything, and they're just starting the burn measure on top of a ward. 50%, Viego's here to try to contest it.
Right, and the Draven ult comes out as well. Isn't going to be able to get that. Burrow on the Jax gets a clean smite. Yoshi, nothing he can do. Perfect fight timing taken from Zubumafu, and I really like the way that they sort of corralled them in there. Snipper got a little bit disconnected, and then everybody was sort of bunched up on top of a ward, and they just pulled the trigger. So really, really good job by Zubumafu to notice that, take that fight the way that they wanted to, and now Dragon is up in 30 seconds. That's going to be the next one, as Anivia is on the top side without a teleport. Is gonna have to clear the next wave and roam down, or just start roaming down now. But Valhalla trying to push out.
You need to start respecting the soul itself. Like, the soul is gonna be pretty annoying to play against. You're not gonna be able to kill anyone. Also, no damage is gonna be dealt to any team that got this soul, so you gotta be careful. You gotta play it, try it, and so close.
From Valhalla, the Vex is going to ult on top of Zyroni. The teleports are coming in. That is a dead. Oh, actually, no. Nums actually kills the Vex on the backside of that and is running for his life, trying to draw out as many axes as he can. Anivia was not there. The teleport advantage works it in their favor as the Zubumafu take down a 4-for-1 and a Dragon follow-up. Good job by Zubumafu to just kind of take control of this game, as now they have their eyes set on the mid lane with the Baron empowered minions. They're going to be trying to push into this Anivia. Good wave clear, but there's a lot of dive opportunity for Zubumafu.
You should be
Snickers.
playing 1-4-0. You should be trying to pressure two lanes so you can be able to open bases, to have control, to try to get the Inhibia, and the hook as always.
Oh, the Shen ult comes through. The flash Shen taunt comes through. Takes him down. Another kill for Kaisa, and that is a dead inhibitor on the mid side here. Anivia kind of caught between a rock and a hard place there, trying to do their best to wave clear. Not enough, and the only person alive now is the Seraphine. As the Draven comes up, and Yoshi on the Viego, but now this is a 5v3 as the Encore comes out. It's going to get 2 members. Nubs 2 does throw out the Draven ult, but Yoshi gets pulled in by Blitzcrank Cook and dies, and now the Draven gets ulted on by the Kaisa. He's going to fall. The Seraphine gonna fall, and now the Scion going to fall. This is an absolute nightmare for Valhalla as they are going to watch their Nexus fall 2 games in a row in a game that they had everything. What went wrong there, Sexto?
An absolute fiesta between both teams. You saw it go. You saw the games going back and forth, going for Valhalla for a little bit, going for Zubumafu. We saw Blitz hitting almost 2 or 3 hooks in the entire game. It feels like support is unrelative. Normally, support is one of the most OP rules in the world of League of Legends, but this game we saw Blitz just taking a nap. And speaking of naps, don't go anywhere. We're gonna stay here. We're gonna take just a short nap, short break, and get back to you with game number 3. Is it gonna be 3-0 for Zubumafu, or Valhalla's got some other explanation to do, or other plans for the whole entire series?
Blinding lights, lost in your eyes, feeling the pressure. You and I, spending the night, chasing forever. For you, oh no, I'd be your one and only. Don't let me go, don't leave me lonely. Say you'll stay through the pain, say you won't go running. Let me in through your veins, get off of my loving. Holding on to words that you said back in the beginning. All along, they stay in my head. I'm feeling you shifting. For you, oh no, I'd be your one and only. Don't let me go, don't leave me lonely. Say you'll stay through the pain, say you won't go running. Let me in through your veins, get off on my Say you'll be here when your head starts to clear. When I'm drowning, just say you'll jump I'm here only because your stare won't ever let me go. I'm here only cause I'm aware with you is better than all alone. Oh, 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 say what you're dying to say. No, 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 no. Oh, oh, tonight we're stars but we'll fade away. Go on and light me up. Oh, go on and light me up while we're golden. Come on and light me up. Oh, come on and light me up before we come down. Stars will always come down. So
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Murky Sports Emerald Finals between Zubumafu rising and Valhalla Berserkers. Zubumafu with a comfortable 2-0 position over Valhalla. Valhalla looked like they had it last game. Everything was going their way, and then they just started to just get caught out and throws. Sekio, what is the mental of the Valhalla Berserkers coming into game 3 now? Is it defeated? Is it we got this? What is it?
It's gonna be depending on the first 5 minutes of the upcoming game. It's either we got it, boys. The first two games were just like a warm up, and we're going for the comeback, the silver scrapes, the everything that you live for League of Legends, or it's gonna be a 3-0, and Zubumafu will take the lead, get the title, and get the cash.
All right, so there we go. Zubumafu rises. They're just riding such high momentum. They haven't been stopped by anybody this season. They've shown really no slowing down. And here in the finals, it's just looking like it's kind of easy for them. No matter what they do, no matter how many mistakes they make in the early game, mid game, whatever it is, they just seem to find a way to just turn it around mid-game and get their mental right and then just pick the fights that they want. And Valhalla is just kind of walking into these. You know, we were talking about the Blitzcrank in the last game. Missed so many hooks, but then all of a sudden hits the one hook, picks up the
Wait, did he
Seraphine,
hook?
gets the kill
Oh,
first.
yeah, he did.
Yeah, picks up the kill onto the Seraphine right before that last like big fight, and then just basically turns the table on it. So we did not see the ban of Syndra coming out from Zubumafu, who normally had it. So they are going to blue one this time around on the Syndra. Strong mid lane.
Syndra, when it comes to being first pick, we have seen it before more than one time. But Syndra is one of those mages that can just like, yeah, we're late game. I'm just gonna one shot you. You're not gonna pick Kassadin.
Yeah, they pick Cassidy. Yeah, usually you see an Echo, a Diana, maybe a Silas into that matchup because of all the mobility and the ability to close the gap on them. But Snipper, who had a really strong game on the Anivia, decides to pick the Cassidy, and then another short range champion on the Zeri for Valhalla. This is spicy draft, I guess.
This is the weirdest draft I have just like ever seen. You start with picking Kassadin this early. I mean, like, if you wanna pick Kassadin for sure, but like, like this. Like, I know you see your enemy mid laner, but it doesn't work like that. You have to be able to find something that can fit your composition, or you're gonna make it all around Kassadin, and I don't think that's gonna be the call for this game.
No, and as we see here, the aggression from Zubumafu just kind of continues as they pick up the Syndra and then they go straight for the Pantheon. That is going to be a dangerous mid lane for Kassadin early on. Once the level 3 hits and Syndra can stun and Pantheon follow up, we've seen some really good ganks outside of Zubumafu. Already Burrow has been very active on the map, so this is going to be a tall task for Kassadin to be able to stay alive as the Lulu is taken away from the Zeri. We know how strong that combo is, the Zeri Lulu, and it looks like Valhalla is opting in for the Yuumi, potentially. Yet it does get locked in, so Zeri Yuumi on the bot lane into this comp, into at least the Lulu on the side of Zubumafu, and they're going to start banning out some ADCs for Valhalla. How are we feeling about this Yuumi pickup?
I've seen it this in the semis. It was weird to see Yumi again back in competitive League of Legends, but it did the job done. Like, it gave healing, it gave shields, it gave everything that you need to survive. Is it? I won't say fun to play, but as long like if you win with it, just play it. That's the rule. Like, if you're winning, don't change anything and do your thing. Valhalla didn't win, so they are just trying to adapt.
Yeah.
And this time, it's gonna be their final shot into trying to get back into the series.
Yeah, they're kind of throwing their Hail Mary here right now. Yumi is very strong. You know, if you hop over a wall and you hit the the electrocute, and then you have the Yumi on top of you to slow them down and root them up and everything. So it can be very, very effective. But there's going to be a lot put on to the Nums 1-2. I'm sorry, I was blanking on the name. Nums 1-2 on the Zeri to be able to pull this off. And production did let us know prior to this game that Yoshi and Whom have swapped roles. So the jungle is now going to be piloted by Whom, who looks like he's going to pick up the Sejuani. I really do like this pick, especially to give Zeri a lot of agency, maybe a gap close, lockdown, and then also to be able to help disengage alongside with the Yumi in these late game team fights.
Even when you have all of this disengage, on the other end, you have Pantheon Starfall. Grand Starfall. It's just like, yeah, you're getting the spear, you're going back to the back line, and you're taking your blue, I'm getting you mid. You're taking your blue, not blue, you're taking your red, maybe go and gang mid lane. Also, if you're doing a gang in the top lane, you can just ultimate in mid lane and try to choke this Kassadin. That's a really good option. If you're invading, you can just ult, gang mid lane. So you have a lot of options. You have a lot of target. But what's important is to ult and kill mid lane.
Yeah, and we see the Varus getting picked up from the side of Zubumafu, so that's a lot of sustained damage or a lot of poke damage, depending on what he wants to go with. If he goes with the armor pen, Comet build that we see a lot of Varuses go for, it is very strong, very poke heavy, but Yumi shields do a lot to stop that. I'm hoping that he either goes for an on-hit or the crit build, which has gained a lot of momentum lately on the Varus. And Mordekaiser is going to be rounding out their draft in the top lane. We're going to see if First Game Life is going to be able to, keep up this domination that he's had on the top side, but he's going to be going into an Olaf in the hands of Yoshi. We saw Yoshi, especially with the Xin Xiao game, was really, really able to manipulate a lot of these fights and do really well. So now he's going to be on the Olaf. Very strong pickup against the Mordekaiser. If he's going to be able to catch him out, going to be able to negate the slows from the Rylais from the Mordekaiser. So and if he's caught inside the Death Realm with him, who's really caught in the realm when you have an Olaf sitting there hitting you with his hatchets?
You need some heavy lifting for this game. Valhalla's, that's your final shot for the final. That's your final shot to find something to do, to have like the final, the final bullet. It's either you're gonna have it like, that game when you roll a dice and and the other one, this one.
Yeah.
I don't want to explain it because it's not that friendly. But like, you're at this point, it's either you get 3-0'd or you still have a life in you to play for the second game. But to see if they have an actual life for the second game, to see if they can perform, to see if they can do something with this solo queue composition. We're gonna get right back to you after the break.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Murky Sports Emerald Finals between Zoo Boomafu Rises and Valhalla Esports. Game 3, potential final game of the series as we get set in. Draft is done, picks are locked in, and here we go, getting onto the Rift. Valhalla Esports shooting their potential final shot up against Zoo Boomafu, trying to close the distance. Sekio, what are we looking for in this game that's going to change the outcome from games 1 and 2?
So we're seeing a lot of solo queue picks. This might be a new secret pick or like a secret idea that you wanna execute it into the game. You're having Yumi, you're having Zeri, and you're having Kassadin. That's said it all. Like, you're having the top healer support, someone who's just gonna give you Burma buffs, and you have two pretty hybrid carries. Some dead people, like those people can just go in, fight 2v5 and not even have a small bit tiny of like, you know that thing, what's it called? My brain just stopped.
Well, so did Valhalla's is now. They're going to end up getting an invade in here onto Whom on this jungle, who on the Sejuani now. So they're sitting over here in the bot side, over on the blue. Whom hops over on the blast cone, does get Burrow caught out a little bit, but now Nums1-2 a little bit late and behind. The first blood with the flash from the Lulu gonna secure the kill onto the Sejuani. Not a good start for Valhalla, as just kind of gets caught out, and then not a quick enough rotation from Nums1-2 and Zyroni on this bot lane. Is was having issues in the top lane, and now is having issues in the jungle to start out this game.
Touching out pretty hard, but Olaf on the top side is having some really heavy lifting to do. You're playing Olaf Lulu. You're sorry, Olaf Miaw Miaw. You're playing Zeri Yumi. You're playing Kassadin Yumi. So 3 champions, 3 carries that love Yumi. So I know it's not a competitive composition, but it's something that you can just like lay on. But the book from Varus and Lulu is pretty good on the bot side.
Yeah, and we see the lethal tempo was the pickup for Maniac Trojan Boy on this Varus, so we are going to more than likely get an on-hit build here, and something that is a little understated on Yumi. Not only does she provide a ton of shields, but when attached to a champion like Zeri, is going to be able to, every time a Q hits and then the auto attack follow-up hits, you are going to be getting successive heals. So really, really strong on this champion as a pairing. So going to be looking forward to that, as now Sejuani does have vision on the Pantheon. We see the pings coming through. He's going to try to get a smite steal back and get the blue buff back here, but Burrow pulls the blue buff away. It is going to end up getting traded over to the Sejuani as Olaf comes down to help his jungler out a little bit. And a little bit of a trade here. And now Zerobi does end up finding the route onto Snipper on the Kassadin here. So Whom coming up here for a gank here. Mordekaiser thinking that he's safe, and Yoshi picks up the first kill against first game life, and Mordekaiser just kind of sitting there. Is at the same time Nums1-2 coming through is going to get polymorphed up by the Lulu and take a Varus bolt to the face afterwards. Another stun by the Syndra. Snipper here is going to have to flash away from Burrow, but he still gets the kill as 2 turret shots come through. Not enough to get him, and even if it did, I don't think any damage was traded back. So really, really good gank by Burrow on this Pantheon, making his presence known. And now onto the bot side to take this Scuttle Crab, as Sejuani is sort of evened out a little bit this clear, but Burrow looking to take another swing and potentially stop the Zeri from basing and maybe even kill her, as now he does stop their base just with the Scrying Orb. Nums1-2 and Zyroni are going to be dove here. Let's see if they can turn this around. They know the Pantheon's there. They're waiting for him to come in. The attachment is on, and here we go. A little bit of damage traded back. Burrow is going to end up falling to the Yuumi as Pantheon picks up a second kill now. And a lot of minions are going to be dying for this Zeri, who's going to have to play catch-up. Even though Varus doesn't get this kill, he does get a wave. And
he needs to recall. Like, he needs to recall. It's minute 5, he didn't recall. He's still sitting on the Duran's blade and HP potion, which is, yeah, that's something really reliable. But like, it's minute 5:30, you need to recall, you need to get some tempo. Exactly! Some daggers, and he's going for the Vanberg Scepter, which is gonna help him a lot into the laning phase and the sustain overall.
Yeah, now we see the experience advantage over on the mid lane too. Snipper trying to fight back a little bit against Syndra here, but Zerobi having level 6. Snipper, even with clearing that wave, is still not even level 6, so she's going to be almost an entire level ahead, and that's going to be really, really hard for this Kassadin to deal with. Coming in the next minutes is now Pantheon coming in for a second gate, but boom! Flashes forward on the Sejuani, forces the flash out of Syndra, and at the same time on the bot lane, Nums12 and Zyroni are getting out alive, as Snipper does take a turret shot, but puts a lot of damage on the Syndra, and Pantheon has his eyes set on the first dragon of the game.
Invades a lot of balls to be doing this. Things like you're invading.
Yeah, Pantheon is sitting on a ward, and this 2v2 in the bot lane is not going the way of Zubumafu, but I don't think there's going to be anything they can do to stop it, as Sejuani is on the top side of the map looking for a gank on the Mordekaiser.
Yes, sir. Sejuani is just... He completed the invade, he got 2 camps, and he left. He's richer right now than Mr. Enemy Jungle, like, but on the other side he got a lot of kills, and currently he just got the first break in the game, which is gonna be the Mountain Break. 5% or more in magic resist, and that's gonna help you pretty good when it comes to early game, and we are in early game, so those stats matter.
Yeah, very, very huge. And I guess just for funsies, what do we have as your prediction for the Drake that is going to be the soul this game?
So it's not gonna be... I hope that's not gonna be Ocean. I hope it's not Ocean. But like, I like Cloud. I like Cloud Soul. What about you?
Okay, I'm gonna go for Infernal here. I think that, you know, we get a good chance to get an Infernal. As now Nums12 does take the Draven ult and gets stunned up by the Pantheon. Flashes out in the back. The Ignite is on, but it's not gonna be enough. As now more turret shots, but Zyroni does end up getting the kill, but is gonna fall to Trojan Boy here. Maniac Trojan Boy on this Varus picks up 2 kills on another dive bot. But one going back over to the Yuumi. This Yuumi is 2-1 now. Is gonna have a little bit of gold, extra gold that she would normally have with these kills. But you would have loved to have seen those go on to the Yuumi as the ultimate comes out from the Sejuani. They're hopping on top of the Syndra now, and Olaf pops out his Ragnarok and gets the kill on his Zerobi. Yoshi now 2-0 on this Olaf. 12 CS now ahead of the Mordekaiser, and is going to be able to get back to his lane with the Grubs in tow. Grubs on Olaf are going to be huge.
Game is tense. The game is just pretty close. 1k gold difference between both teams. Olaf is just running down. This top laner is going all over. First game live is just trying to survive it, and I don't think that Pantheon needs to gank top lane. You can just like try to give in some time to not die. If you gank and you die, both of you, this game is over.
Yeah, and I think that the way Yoshi is playing this Olaf is almost perfect right now. Getting the rotations when he needs to, getting the kill, and then like you said, like if Pantheon comes top, like he doesn't have everything that he would normally have into a laner, because Olaf can just pop the Ragnarok and not get stunned. And if he pops it before Mordekaiser tries to pull him into the Death Realm, he's not going in there. It will not save him from getting out, but Olaf definitely able to turn this around. Is now hopping on top of DL. Is going to the Sejuani. Pops her own ult. The Barrel comes through, but now the Yuumi ult on top of this. And Zeri is bot. No! It's going to be Sejuani getting the kill. They don't end up chasing over on the backside as the teleport's coming in from the Mordekaiser. Nums 1-2 caught out. Also from the ultimate from Pantheon coming through, so a little bit of a crazy fight, a little bit of a mismatch there. Bit off a little bit more than they can chew and get caught on the backside, but they do get another kill, so that is a 1-for-1 and a lot spent from the side of Zubumafu.
The ADC is not having a pretty nice game, and he's one of your core carry potential. Like, yeah, you're playing on 2-0, you're playing into top laner, you're playing into 2v1.
Mordekaiser potentially caught out here by whom does bring Sejuani into the death round. Yoshi waiting on the outskirts for this. Gets another stun up, and Mordekaiser just cannot catch up here as Yoshi popping a Ragnarok, going through. No flash on the Mordekaiser, so there won't be any kind of outplay, but Nums 1-2 now sitting on top of Maniac Boy does get the Lulu to come through here, and now ends up getting a kill as Nums 1-2 was not accounting for Lulu being back in lane in time. Cassidy is going to
a lot of plays,
but get knocked out. Yeah, a lot of plays all over the place.
Yeah, you need to just like take a breath. Like, I see like you're commentating into a fight on top side, then the camera goes in the bot side, like we're having 2v1s in top, 2v1s in bot, and we're having a lot of action in the third game of Works Academy Platinum League of Legends final. Is it fun? I believe so. Are we gonna see one more game? That's my question to you.
Now, I don't know at this rate, potentially, as Snipper ends up baiting out the Barrel. He does miss it, and now he's sitting on a 1v2, but the Lulu is super low. If Lulu shows up here, it could be a death sentence for her, as now Snipper trying to close the gap onto the Barrel. He's going to get the shields from the Lulu. He's going to try to turn this around now as he's getting a lot of hits. The Lethal Tempo stacked up, and he gets the kill on the Snipper, who took that fight knowing that the Lulu was still there, a little bit ill-advised, and now 0-2 does have the Rod of Ages, but just not enough to close anymore. You are a scaler, not an early game monster.
A lot of blades being taken to Varus 5-0 and 2.2k gold advantage, but on top lane, the story is different.
Yoshi is just demolishing Mordekaiser with no ult up. They are going to end up getting the first turret, which will be the feats of strength here for the side of Zubumafu. But yeah, Yoshi 4-0 on this Olaf. Why did they not swap to him top laner earlier in the series?
Good question, and he's actually doing pretty good when he's playing in top lane, but look at what side!
Entrance follows through, and Snipper dead again. Maniac Trojan Boy, somebody as slippery as Cassidy with all the mobility from his ult cannot get away from Varus. Maniac Trojan Boy putting this team on his back. 6-0-2 now with a 40 CS lead over his lane opponent. This is going to come down to Maniac versus Olaf at some point. Who wins that?
A lot of questions. Who's gonna be able to win and who's gonna take the crown? And like at this point of the game, they are dead even. Dead even when you see it for the first time. But when it comes to the actual stats, it's 2.7k gold to Varus. So is it gonna be Varus or Olaf who's capable of carrying everything? What do you think?
I think in the 1v1 it 100% goes to Olaf. No matter, like, there's no worse feeling than being a Fed AD carry and having an Olaf coming down and getting into the backline. There's no amount of CC that's going to be able to stop him. So I think with the Stride Breaker, and once he gets a couple, maybe finishing a second item, I think he's going to be able to get down there on top of him. Now as Snipper trying to do his best to catch up to the Syndra. He is caught up in CS now, but 400 gold lead for the Syndra, most of that probably first strike and the assist. So this game is it's just crazy. There's more fighting in this game than I think in the first two series combined at the 15-minute mark.
A lot of fights in like a pretty short amount of time. Even bot side, you can see Come on, Syndra, it's pretty close. He can actually get the 1v1. He's going to play it safe, even though the Kassadin is 0-3.
Nope. Yeah, and he's charging up his ult there, and Syndra thinks better of it, does not want to fight even with the wave there, as now we've seen this time and time again, the Yoshi-Hoom duo trying to come through. They do get sort of spotted out by a ward, but Varus is going to flash out, gets the ultimate onto Maniac Trojan Boy, but there's not going to be any follow-up. That is an ult and a flash out from the Lulu for just an ult from the Sejuani and the Yuumi. So a little bit of an advantage to the side of Valhalla as they have their sights set on this Rift Herald now.
They tried to get the Varus, and at least he got his flash, but right now Varus needs someone to guard him. The Rift Herald is gonna be mid-life. The full contest is gonna be a 4v4. You can see a TP coming from the mid lane, and here is the engage.
Yeah, and here we go, and Burrow caught out a little bit too far. He's gonna have to shield his side to stop all the damage, but Snipper gets the kill onto the Pantheon. Falling after is going to be the Olaf at the same time, and then Kassadin gets on top of the Varus, kills him. Nums 1-2 is pulled into the Death Realm here. DL steps up, not enough damage on the Zeri to finish him off. Snipper looking to ult over on top of the Syndra, but Mordekaiser is here, and that's a beefy boy. They're ready to go, and Valhalla backs off, I think smartly.
Ooh, a lot of action happened in the Rift Herald, and none of them actually finished the objective. It's gonna be staying in the Baron's pit, into the Rift's pit for more time. We saw Varus getting demolished before the even fight starts. He's gonna be 6-1-4 when it comes to the score, but he needs to have better positioning in team fighting. I know that he doesn't have a lot of ways to survive in team fights, but still, you're Varus, you have Lulu, you should be doing something. No flash, it's bad, but
Yeah.
it's doable.
And that is something to note too, that there is a very, very like noticeable lack of frontline protection and peel for this Varus. So the onus is going to be on Maniac Trojan Boy, not to just win the 1v1s and the 2v2s, but he's going to have to, like you said, get better positioning in these team fights to be able to get these shots off, to be able to stack his blight, and be able to put out the damage that's going to be required, because Olaf and Sejuani are big right now, and they are roaming around the map together, and they're going to be extremely hard to take down, let alone stop from killing him, if you can't keep any distance between them, as now it looks like the mid lane is going to be the next target of a potential fight here, as Maniac Trojan Boy trying to clear out some vision. Hoon showing up, showing his presence, and Dragon is about to spawn here in 10 seconds. We're going to have the Glacial Dragon, so that is going to end up being the dragon for the soul. So unfortunately, no Cloud Soul like you had predicted, but at least it's not Ocean Soul, right?
Like, yeah, no Ocean Soul is... it's a blessing. Like, Ocean Soul is pretty annoying, but you can see the fight.
The ultimate missed by Sejuani off the front part, but the flash in and ult from the Barrett, from the Kassadin, trying to get on top of Maniac, does not get him, but now 9-1-2 is stuck in the Death Realm against this Mordekaiser. He's going to go down. The follow-up to Olaf, chasing down the Syndra with the Yuumi on his back, is going to end up getting it, and he's trying to close the distance on the Mordekaiser and the Lulu. She is going to slow him down, and they are going to get the Dragon for their troubles. So in the end, a elongated 3 for 2 for the side of Valhalla, and a Dragon on the back end of that. You have to be feeling good if you are Valhalla Esports about your opportunity to turn this series around.
No one can stop Olaf from getting to Varus. No one can make Varus safe versus this Olaf. No poke, no damage, no CC. It's just Zimio. He got his cat friend, he got Yuumi, and they're just like rolling everything. Yushi, you got my respect. 5-1-4, you might be the hero for your team.
Yeah, he's looking to try to help close this out here, as now the mid lane turret is going to be the target of Zubumafu. Num1-2 is going to have to just dash over the wall and get out of there. That's another turret objective claimed for Zubumafu, and now they're going for the Rift Herald. They're going to try to open up this map, but Valhalla see it. You see the pings coming out, they are on their way. There is no teleport from the Syndra, and Snipper is actually trying to tower dive Syndra all on his own. Gets her ultimate out, does have teleport coming up here if they want to continue this fight, but Boom on this Sejuani is just pushing through here. Olaf breaks the Ragnarok, getting on top of the Pantheon. He's stunned up. The Barisol comes through, but that's 2 dead members on the side of Zubumafu, and they're trying to close the distance here now as Nums12 is going to get the kill on the... Oh, Olaf's going to get the kill on the Baris, but the distance is closed by the Zeri. Lulu trying her best to shield herself under the turret. 2 turret shots come out, but that is 4 for nothing. Valhalla taking this game into their own hands. It is now theirs to lose as they're going to be able to pick up this Rift Herald. Otacon spawning on the bot side of the map. After this, I expect some resets, some inventory to be built up, and then Otacon will be the next fight. And if you're Zubumafu, what do you do at this point?
At this point, you're just making fights when you can't. You're picking fight versus Olaf. You need to just give some zoning for your EDC.
Anybody gonna pick the Falcon?
Yeah. I feel you, like, it happened to me a lot. Taking the rift, but the RE just like, forget it. But this...
Slowing the Ghost, going on top of the Olaf, but they're fighting inside of this. Ragnarok is pop, but it's not going to be enough. First game life does kill Yoshi. Has a teleport to come down here and try to turn this fight around, but Snipper caught out by the Pantheon, smited down. One more Q is going to take him down, and now that's 2 kills for the side of Zubumafu. And that's what they do. You said they need to pick the fight that they want. They get it. Olaf stayed a little bit too far on the back end of that Rift fight and dies for nothing. And then Kassadin caught out before the Otacon. That is a huge advantage going to the side of Zubumafu. Rift is going to crash into the mid lane. Just gonna pilot it around here now as, oh my word, the shields from Yumi are the only things that can save. But ultimate here is Nums12 is trying to get out. The Yumi ult is popped. They're trying to fight over here. Burrow kind of caught behind the ultimate coming out from the Zeri. The shield only lasts so long, and the Olaf shows up. He takes down Pantheon, and now Mordekaiser stuck here. Boom trying to do what he can to create space. Yoshi on the backside, Nums12 hopping over the wall. The Lulu ult comes out, and Mordekaiser does Zeri. Varus from the backside gets just enough to take down Kassadin, and now the fight is turned around. Yoshi not able to do anything as a fight that they took with 2 teleports ends up turning around on their faces, and Zubumafu keep themselves alive in this game on the backs of Maniac Trophy Board.
When you see at the previous team fight at Zubumafu Nexus, like, it's almost close. You know that you have nothing to do, but here you can see the heroic plays.
Yoshi coming in now. Maniac Trophy Board just kind of dead. They waited that one out just long enough.
That's the guy I was saying that he made a heroic play. He played over the wall. He had his zoning, like, he played on pushing the enemies and just being able to survive. What happened here is the exact opposite.
Yeah, now Zubumafu once again on the back foot after their Varus is taken down. More gold into the pockets of Yoshi on this Olaf. He now has this Hex pick helmet. He has the Stride Breaker, has the Sundered Sky, 927, way up in CS. He is an absolute beast. And one thing to note here too is that Valhalla has the scaling comp. They have the Kassadin, they have the Zeri Yumi, they have Sejuani with Heartsteel stacks. So they're the ones that kind of wanted to keep the game slow and scale up on their own terms, but they're the ones that are taking all these fights. Is now they're trying to close the distance on Burrow, but they see the Syndra on the bot lane out. They're going to try the tower dive. No, instead they go for the dragon. They're going to take this potentially free dragon. It is on ward, and we'll see if Burrow can make a hero play of his own, as there's 5 members down here against 4 for Zubumafu. The ultimate from Sejuani is going to catch the Syndra out. Now Yoshi on the Olaf is trying to chase this down. Yumi ult is popped. The Lulu has to flash away. Is not going to get out of here on the same time. Snipper on the backside. Ulting on top of Syndra. Gets her ult out, but not enough damage to take out this tanky Kassadin with the Seraph's Embrace now finished. Her entire ult went to his shield. This is not looking good for Zubumafu Rises in Game 3.
No ADC, no game. That Zubumafu game, that's what we're saying. You're not having your ADC shine as always. Even though he got a pretty positive score, but he's not leaving his His signature at the place is not leaving something to follow him. Like, no, you're just here to fill in the air. That's why I feel that we need to have them in one place. We need to speak to them. It's just one more game away from winning. It's either gonna be you or you're gonna get reverse sweep, and we all know what happens after you lose the third game in a best of 5.
Yeah, we see it time and time again, but if there's any team that's ready to tackle on that challenge, it would be Zubumafu, and they're probably saying to themselves right now, this game isn't over either. So Baron seems to be like the next objective that Valhalla want to start up. They're pushing out the waves. They're trying to get it. We do see the pings. They do believe that they're on there. And now they're going to try to set up a death brush here as Sejuani and Olaf leading the charge in here. They do catch him out though. Sejuani ult does go wide left, but Burrow caught up on this Pantheon. Mordecai's just going to walk away, just buy some time. That is going to be a kill on the Pantheon and a Baron for Valhalla Berserkers.
It's not gonna end with a 3-0. Baron is gonna be picked up, and I believe that they're gonna play 1-4-0, play in 2 lanes, and try to conquer everything. But on the other side, Zubumafu, they just don't wanna give it up for the team fight. But they are pushed out into the mid lane, which means the Baron is gonna be free for Valhalla. 5 players getting it. They're waiting till Snipper reach level 16, and once they get it, you know it's over. The mid lane.
Yeah, as we see the Olaf getting on top of the Mordecai, does get pulled into the death realm, but he's going to end up killing him. Yumi had to pop out there for a second because he's got invited, but now Snipper steps a little bit too close. The Seraph Embrace not enough to save him as the Syndra ult comes through, and now Zubumafu trying to get this turnaround here as Yoshi on the back end is low on life. The Ignite does come out from the Yumi, trying to keep Poom as healthy as they can as they're trying to back this off and wait for Nums 2. The re-engage does come through. The cleanse is popped by the Olaf, and they turn on to Olaf here. And turning this around is Zubumafu, but Zeri on the backline with the Yumi is pumping out a ton of damage, but Maniac Trojan Boy has something to say about it as he does get the kill, and he does clean up, and it is an ace for the side of Zubumafu. They get the fight that they want. Sekio, they are not dead yet.
It's not over until it's over. Zubumafu gets the W. You can see the AD carry having 3 kills all over the place. In the previous team fight, he got the lethal tempo, he got the movement, he got the items, and he got the actual attack speed. That's gonna boost him even bigger and bigger and bigger.
That sucks so much when you get the Baron and then you throw it in a one after one after one kind of team fight like that. I felt like Whom had decided like, hey, we're out, but then once Nums 1-2 showed up, yes, they did get 3 kills on the Zeri, but you can't lose that fight when you have the Baron buff, and Yoshi was just a little bit too low on the Olaf to continue that fight, and now they gotta be scratching their heads being like, what did we do wrong? But Valhalla throwing away the little bit of a lead that they had. We now see, if you look at the top of the screen, you see the Baron power play is actually a minus 600 gold on the favor of Zubumafu now. So Valhalla, even though they were winning, it looks like they're slowly giving this one away. They're going to have to be really careful if they want to stay alive in this.
And they're slowly having control over the place. No vision for Valhalla. But at least you might see some fights all over to take 10 seconds, and he's gonna be spawning Hextech. Portals are pretty important, so point is gonna be pretty close. It's either Valhalla or the other side.
45 starts out, the ult goes on top of the Lulu. Varus on the backside trying to ult. Olaf not picking up is gonna die. And Kassadin falls.
No way.
No, Varus on the outside of this is going to
No way.
A fight once again that Valhalla wanted, and it turns around on them. This is a huge momentum swing for the side of Zubumafu, and they get a clean ace. Maniac on this Varus is acting like just that. Super clean positioning, great job keeping up the sustained DPS, and Yoshi not tanky enough on this Olaf to survive the onslaught. They pick the fight on top of the Lulu. Lulu gets out. And that is all she wrote. And now, with the death timers being as long as they are, there's a potential that Zoo ends up closing this game out here. But they decide to take the safer route and push down the tier 3 on the bot side as well. Just gonna take some resources, reset, and get back into this game. As you see, 42.6k damage dealt on this Varus. Maniac holding this team up completely.
Incredible player. Like Miaw in the previous team fight, he just had his perfect place for everything in the team fight. And right now, speaking of him, let's look at his itemization. He got the Jackson for the extra sustaining in team fights to be able to face the Olive in the late game. Also, he got the advanced not left speed boots, sorry. The advanced attack speed boots. He got Ginger's blade, a Bork, and he is just one step away from being the MVP for this game.
Valhalla looking
14
for a play
11.
here. They get it on top of the Syndra. She does flash over the wall, but Numbs 1-2 on the chase down here. It's going to try to do as much damage as they can. The Varus ult comes down, and it's enough damage to take him out. As Maniac Chosen Boy is the target of the Olaf, but not enough shields and healing from the Yuumi. As now he falls down as well. Yuumi dies, and Boom on the Sejuani gets put back as well. Trying their best to get out of this is Kassadin and Mordecai fighting on the bot side. The ultimate grand entrance comes in from Burrow to cut Boom off, and that is one more shot from the Varus is going to take the kill on the Sejuani. Snipper, the lone survivor of this, goes in on top of the Mordekaiser, tries to ult in and ult out, flashes on top of Syndra, but is going to get stunned up by the Olaf. Does not get the return kill on
Is it over?
That is a long ace, and this is going to be the final push from Zubumafu. I don't think that Zeri Yuumi is going to be able to stop this. These turrets are melting, and DL is ready to polymorph as soon as they join. Zubumafu coming back from the grips of death in Game 3 to take this series 3-0.
Zubumafu did it actually, and won the Platinum League for Mercs Academy. Congratulations, Zubumafu. You did really good, guys. You played the game by book. Not really, but like you played too good. And
Yeah.
Varus, Maniac, you actually like his movement when he's playing with Varus, when he kites, when he tries to auto space, when he tries to get his space to be able to do something, he's doing it pretty well. Look at his damage, 50k.
Yeah, absolutely insane performance by Maniac on all fronts. I mean, all 3 games, he was always in it, always one of the ones that was just leading the damage. You know, the top laner for them first game life. This was the first game that he actually had a problem in it, but Zubumafu finding their way to just sort of get their own Varus scaling going and turning every single fight in the late game around. Really, really well done, and well done by Valhalla's to make every game interesting. The first game, they had it before they lost it. The second game was kind of like a bad game, but this third game, like, it looked like they were in the driver's seat and they were ready to push the series on, but just couldn't get over the Goliath that is Zubumafu Rises. So congratulations to them, and with that, thank you everybody for tuning in. The Merc Esports Season 4 signups are now up. So get into the Discord, get your team together. If this series didn't fire you up to want to try to take down Zubumafu in the Emerald Division, then nothing will. These guys are titans. I expect to see them back next year, and I expect to see a strong showing from the rest of the field to try to take them down. So get your team together, get in the Discord, get your signups for Merc Season 4. That's going to be across all ELOs. All of them are available for you to sign up on. If you have any questions, just ask an admin in the Discord and they'll help you out. Thank you everybody that tuned in. Thank you, Sekio, for coming in. We know you were sick. You did an absolute fantastic job, professional as always. Thank you so much for coming in and on last minute. Thank you again to Last Revan for the awesome production that he always delivers. And with that, I am Fel, I was joined by Sekio and produced by Last Revan. Thank you, everybody that tuned in to the Murky Sports Emerald Finals. Congratulations once again. Zubumafu Rises coming out on top. We'll see you guys next season.
Valhalla's warriors got their own proud crowd. We waited all year long for this night. Every city's feet is filled and the air feels right. The banners wave like oceans in the distance. We're all connected, heart to heart, hand in hand. This is where we call.